you just use my space?
I would appreciate it, but I don't want to use your space.
No, for example, I'm going out to see my sons in California. We're going to have a week together, my two boys, very unusual, and then I'm going to Texas. So I'm out from next, I don't know if I'm coming back to Easton after today.
Right.
So I'm going from today until the 10th of August. The door's open. It's not locked. I could give you the key so you can go in after hours. Well, you can, but yeah, just give you
You said you're leaving tomorrow?
Huh?
What, you're leaving when? When are you leaving?
Next Wednesday, a week from.
Okay, so there's not. Yeah, I mean, I would.
Want to do it? All right, do you have a minute afterwards, and I'll write some stuff down meanwhile.
I appreciate it.
All right, yeah.
Thanks.
And you get away with it.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going?
Good, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. Say hi. Summer going well?
Oh, yeah, it's good.
Yeah, kids are doing great.
How are you?
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, get ready to go away for a week, which is good.
Anyone fun?
Long Beach Island.
Walk in, walk out.
Cool. Everything else is good though?
Yeah, it's going busy. And
Right.
next time you guys are out, so let me know if you guys
Yeah,
out for a coffee drink or whatever.
Yeah, we will definitely have to reach out. Get something
good.
going.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Back to your question, I have to take that with the summer. Boy, I could pay for 3 hours of parking at the house. 60 cents. That's not. They really. Oh yeah. They did it. 3 months ago. Oh, did you?
I walked down from the hill because
I'm gonna start. Yeah, I'm gonna start riding my bike down. It was just running. I thought it was running late today. So.
Seriously, you can't.
yeah.
It's electronic. It's a computer. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, these 8 cars are out in on this line. So you guys can just do the whole house.
Air conditioning working.
I understand. It's a simple thing to do. They make it so difficult. Take my car out, people start not paying the car. Can't get them to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
For
at least the meeting.
All right.
If I didn't run to catch up with you, I'd be late.
Where'd you park?
I walk from the office.
Oh.
I'm tired of spending $15 for parking.
Hey, we gotta get my lease.
Okay, I just listed one today that I think it's at the right price point. It's like $4
No, it's just
Oh, good, oh, good, oh, good.
That's what it was, cost $9 too.
Yeah.
Was everybody?
So is that for the, I couldn't find the package.
Oh, so nobody. So how did you get it?
Packet cake?
You got it.
I got one.
I got
Those.
Yeah. It was big.
So that didn't come in. Was the link embedded in an email?
Yeah.
It was. Okay, so
That's probably why you missed it.
I did, but I was left off of that link. The email was sent. So I reached out to Anna and called. Didn't get anything. Yes. Luckily, Claire was on it. Yeah.
So it's on the east side again, nice big master bedroom. Not all central air, but the easiest place, some places. This is the main bath, which is the period, but then that's the third floor. Master bath is all redone. Walk-in shower. Laundry's in the basement. The garage. It's like fencing in. The garage. Nice. Private backyard, there's a garage on one side and the parking. No, you should know. But just, why don't I break it down? Okay. Welcome to the July 13th.
Are you plugged in? No,
No.
there you go.
Welcome to the July 13th Historic District Commission meeting. Christine, could we start with roll call?
Diane Haviland.
Here.
Mario Guariello.
Here.
Charbel Corey.
Here.
Clay Mittman.
Here.
Phil Mittman.
Here.
Chelsea Morizi. We have a full contingent.
Great. If you have all received the minutes from the June 8th meeting, do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve?
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. As far as the HDC process, we have a very long meeting tonight. We have 12 applications before us, so we'll try to be as timely as possible, knowing that the people towards 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 will probably be here for a longer time. But as far as the process goes, you've all made applications to the Historic District Commission. They've been reviewed by our historic consultant, who will give input to the board. We will then make a ruling of either approving, denying, approving with conditions, or we have the option of tabling to another meeting. So as far as the hearing goes, we're going to start with 330 Ferry Street, proposal to repair a chimney, spot repoint brick, and this would be St. John's Lutheran Church, Bob Black. Thank you for coming, Bob.
Glad to be here.
Good to see you again.
The church is an approximately 2.5 to 3-story high, 3-bay brick building with a front-facing gable roof. The building dates from 1830 and is classical revival in style. The rear brick additions date from later 19th and 20th centuries. And it is proposed to repair one of the chimneys and spot repoint. The standards that we would use for this project are Standard 9 and also Standard 6, which is states that features should be repaired rather than replaced, and this is a repair project. The repair of the chimney and spot repointing are historically appropriate if preservation brief number 2 is followed and soft lime-based mortar used. And joint style matching the existing or historic, and the methods used to remove old mortar do not damage the historic brick or widen the mortar joints. It's also recommended to install, I suggested here just metal flashing if there's any exposed skyward facing brick at the top of the chimney, if that's not already done. It might be.
That's been done already.
Yeah. I thought maybe this had been approved in August, and it turns out this is a different chimney, and that there's more chimneys coming.
One more.
Okay. And there's various locations that are shown in the materials submitted at the back and sides of the rear of the church.
Yes.
And I believe you are very familiar with the brick repointing and mortar requirements.
We're going to use the O-type mortar.
Yes. Which
So-
is
so-
part of the earlier approval.
So we're clear, you did come before us for a pointing of a chimney before, correct?
Yeah, there was bricks missing from it. That was
Right.
replaced and a repointing of the chimney, yes.
And that has completed,
That's finished,
and
yes.
this is separate, got it.
Yes.
Thank you.
And who will be doing the work for you on
The
this
work will
one?
be done by ED Outdoor Hardscape, and the quote was for $7,750.
And did they do the prior work?
Yes,
Okay. And you are obviously satisfied with them?
yes.
Okay. Do we have any questions on this from the commission?
No questions?
Any questions from the public on this repointing? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve as submitted?
I'll make a motion to approve as submitted.
And I'll second it.
Motion second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Now, I just have one question.
Sure.
When we apply for the building permit, we have to wait for the COA first?
I think you can apply. They might not release it until they have that COA.
Okay, we'll just wait till we get the COA.
Yeah, I mean, it should be forthcoming pretty quickly.
Okay, all right. Thank you very
And
much.
thank you for opening your building for Heritage Day. It was great to go through the building, hear the concert and the tour of the gravesite. I was able to check out Phil's great-great-great-grandfather's stone down there. So it was nice of you to open up, and we appreciate what you do for our historic downtown.
Oh, thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you for coming.
Hello, Brad.
Our second application is 500 to 502 Northampton Street, proposal to replace a sign. This would be the Hotel Hampton, Inc., Jonathan Washington presenting. Welcome,
Hi.
thank you.
All right, this structure is a 3-story, 6-bay, mixed-use brick building with flat roof, heavy bracketed cornice, coins, ornamental wood window hoods, and altered storefront with a large, poorly proportioned signage band. The building dates from the late 19th century and is stylistically mixed with classical revival and Italianate details. And it's proposed to replace a sign. The new sign will read, I'm not going to read all of it. It's a lot.
And we do have it up on the screen for the audience
Yeah.
if they'd like to see what the wording is on it.
It's looks like a black background with gold and light green or white lettering. It's a little hard to tell. We didn't have any size or exact location indicated. The citation for the project is primarily our design guidelines on signage. And the proposal for signage is missing some information. So if it's information that you could share with us today or get to us.
Oh, I'm gonna have the information. Just let me know what you need and I have it.
Okay, I'm going to make a list and I have a few comments and then you can respond. We need the size of the sign, the materials of the sign, the exact location, and it is assumed the sign will be placed on the large sign band, possibly replacing the exquisite sign,
Yes.
which I think might still be there. That's down?
That's down.
Yeah. If you were, basically, you're going to put it similar location,
Right,
is to,
Same exact location, same exact size.
if you could raise it up a little bit so that it's not just aligned at the bottom. So I was going to suggest an 8 to 12 inch elevation of the sign. And then to have the sign be a similar size. The design of the sign is something I would suggest to reconsider. As submitted, the sign has so much text that it will be not be easy to read, especially by those in cars. It's suggested that the sign highlight the name of your business by making that the largest lettering, Rhea's Natural Hair Braiding Salon. That be dominant.
All right.
And then the list of services should be secondary, smaller lettering. And ideally, you might want to place that actually on the storefront, underneath. That's just a suggestion.
On the door, you mean?
Like there's
On
two
the door.
windows next to the door.
Glass windows?
I could remove all the, like, the knotless braids and everything. And like, I just have weave, locks, and more braids and twist services, and everything else I could remove. Would that
That's
be-
our suggestion. That's my suggestion. The
That'd be
board.
appropriate?
Yeah, I mean, you want people to see your business.
Yeah, yeah.
And right now, it's hard to sort of read
Yeah,
and to
yeah,
see
yeah.
which is the business,
Yeah, I can
right?
remove all that, that's no problem.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Right, because perhaps the name of the business should be larger.
Yep.
I would think larger than it is now. Because
Reyes should be larger.
That's just a rough draft, I just wanted to get you guys' input and.
Sure.
So I
Yeah.
can remove all of that lettering and just keep the braids and twist services and weave, locks and more, and everything else could be removed except the Reyes Natural.
Make Reyes Natural Hair Braiding Salon bigger.
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 Alrighty.
Yeah, and then the services you could possibly put on the glass of the window or the door down below where
alright.
people in street level can read what the services are. I don't think they're gonna be driving by or looking up, they're not gonna catch it quick enough.
Cool, that's cool, gotcha.
Okay.
Alright.
So if you could give us the size of the sign,
The size of the sign will be, it would be 96 inches width by 31.25 height.
okay? Do you know what material the sign is?
It will be made of vinyl.
Is it vinyl on a board?
Hold
Some kind of substrate?
on, let me see, I got everything right here. It's gonna be,
So it's a vinyl print, probably.
it just says vinyl right here.
Yeah. Maybe you could supply that information. But we would want to see something that was on either metal or wood, like a plywood panel.
Oh, it's gonna be encased in a metal box. I didn't know, I thought you just what it means what the sign is gonna be made of.
Oh, in a
then
box.
A wooden box?
I think like a metal box or wooden.
So we don't typically like to see metal boxes. So you see how it was done before. It was just flat
Yeah,
on attached, like a sheet of but there's different materials that can be used, but like a signed plywood,
yeah.
MDO, and then they put the print on that, and then that gets fastened to the facade, to the building.
Okay.
Yeah, don't do a box, not a good idea.
Not a box. So so
No,
what
we
you saying,
can't
just
pass
have the
that.
like the vinyl attached to the wood or
Yeah, it's like vinyl print, and that gets laid onto.
yeah to on a piece of vinyl.
And that gets put onto some kind of
It's like-
substrate.
That's vinyl too. The
Oh, so it's a vinyl panel?
yeah, the vinyl, the sign. It was,
Or
that's how
acrylic?
that exquisite sign was too. It was the same exact.
It's
thing.
like acrylic, I think.
acrylic, vinyl, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably acrylic.
The same people that did that sign is gonna do this sign right here. The same
Could
people.
this be contingent on a couple of things so that we keep you moving? Is one, you redo the draft,
All right.
and then you get, for me, the actual material.
All right.
And we can send it to the city.
It just said vinyl right here. I got the thing. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the last sign was on vinyl. It was the vinyl lettering on top of a like vinyl.
Some kind of sheet of,
Yeah, it was a vinyl though. It was a sheet of vinyl because it was on a sheet of vinyl, I believe. Vinyl, plastic, or something like that. Or
my guess it's an acrylic maybe, or,
Are you having it done by a professional sign company?
Vinyl Print USA. They located on 10th and 900 block of Northampton Street.
Oh. Do you think you could get a new mock-up so that we could see it, especially because we'd like to see, confirm the size of the lettering? I'm assuming the font will be the same, but we could potentially approve with a couple of contingencies, Mr. Washington. Is that okay?
Yes, yes.
and the sign company could just send
Yeah.
it to the city. I don't know if you can still upload it to the portal, and then Anna will send it to me
All right.
and to the board, so we can approve it.
They wouldn't really give me too much information until I paid for the sign. But I didn't want to pay for the sign.
If it's not going to be approved.
Yes. So
Okay.
it was like a tug of war going on right there.
I see.
They said they did the design, and they didn't want to give me too much information until I paid for the sign. And I said, I don't want to pay for the sign unless it get improved, so. it was
Well,
like-
you could probably tell them that we like the concept, but this is what we need to have done as far as a draft before we can put our full stamp on it. Maybe
Okay.
they'll give you a prototype making the name bigger, taking all the services off, and Christine.
And the material.
Did you think there should be some kind of border around the edge of it, or was that not?
I didn't get that far. I
Oh,
mean, a
sorry.
border could be nice on this one because it's very simple. Once you get all the text out.
Next out of there.
Yeah.
So I guess get your sign company to send a draft to you to get to the city, and then as long as it sort of looks in line, then Christine can either modify it or approve it.
I just upload that on the,
Onto the
store.
portal if you can.
All right, yep.
And I think if you present to them our recommendation, it'll help them feel more confident. And if they're an Easton company, they should understand the criteria for the HDC and why you were hesitant.
Yeah, they're Eastern Company. Yeah, they said they did a bunch of signs downtown too, so I don't know
Okay,
why.
so they must be familiar with our criteria.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So am I getting approved for the window lettering too then?
So that lettering that you take off there would go on the windows,
Okay.
right?
As long as it looks like that.
Yep, it will.
Okay.
Yep.
Do I have further comments from commission?
I have a question.
Sure.
Mr. Washington, do you have a business already? So thank you for coming to Easton.
Yes.
Do you already have one established someplace else in the city?
No, not in the city, but I've had businesses in the city before.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is my second or third business. I have one in Wilson going on right now. but
Okay.
It's not in the city of Easton.
Well, welcome.
Wilson,
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
The only thing is that if he's going to take that wording off of that sign, it may increase his square footage. It is a corner property, which may increase the amount that he can have on the sign, how much signage he can have. But you should probably reach back to the zoning office once you have that, what size you're going to have in the windows.
Right.
Just give them the total square footage. I don't know if you're going to put it on one or if you're going to make two. But whatever you decide with the sign company, you just want to update the zoning application so they don't come back later and tell you this exceeds what you applied for.
Okay.
Charbel, if they do just the lettering on the glass, do they measure just the?
Yeah, the sign company will give them the square footage, and then that's what he would submit.
Okay,
Yeah, they take the vinyl.
just of the vinyl.
Yes,
lettering.
their programs will tell them how many square inches of signage there is.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And sometimes some businesses come before us and they'll put their hours of operation sometimes on the door.
Okay.
Something for you to think about. Not necessary, it's entirely up to you.
This is a solid door, so it probably wouldn't go on the glass. This door is solid.
So most likely the window.
Yeah.
Window, I meant, I'm sorry, the window,
Yeah.
yeah, the window.
All right.
Do we have any questions or comments from the public in regard to this application? Yes. You can come up to the microphone.
How you doing?
Paul Felder, 900 Paxinosa Avenue. I have some comments that I'll defer until the public comment portion. Just in general, I'd like to talk to the board for a little bit. But I would like to ask in terms especially of sign reviews, but really anything, when projects like this are explained to the public, I appreciate the detail you're going into with the applicant, but without the public being able to see the building that you're talking about or the context, it's very difficult to know what to say or how to comment on things. So I would ask that in the future, I saw that Chris had a photograph of the facade of the building, but the public does not. So I would like to request that the board in the future make sure the public knows in a fuller context what you're talking about. Thank you.
I think that's a good point because our applications generally would require a photo of the building as well.
I uploaded photos on the
actual building.
Yeah, I believe.
I know you sent that to the board, so we have that. We just didn't have one that was currently available to put up on the screen at this moment.
All right.
Do we have anyone who would like to make a motion on this application?
The motion, I mean, what we said that we want to allow them to resubmit it, so I don't know, because until we see what the material is, I don't know if you could, I think
So I
we should
would think
continue
that
it.
we could do a motion that would indicate that, in concept, we like the idea of removing all the accessory information down to the window, putting the primary name larger with just the two primary services on the sign, perhaps a border around the outside, and getting your sign company to submit that through the portal to Christine, that she can then send it to us, and we can give our input if we feel that it met what we, in theory, discussed today of what you would like to do.
Or can you put the sign back up there? Or I could
Yes.
just put the name of the salon up there and then put everything on the window, everything
That
else
would
on the
be
window.
certainly a benefit.
Yeah.
I think if you just had it's the,
Yeah, I just have the name of the salon
The
up there, and I
name,
put everything else on the,
with natural hair braiding salon as the primary thing and put all the services down below,
yeah,
it's going to make a much cleaner, much easier to read sign. You can
Yep.
then make the lettering bigger.
yep,
But we would need then, if we did an approval tonight, it would be subject to those sign drafts going to Christine for us to see and say that, you know, Christine's
I could reach out to
recommendations
the
are.
company tomorrow.
And we could also define what the board is behind. We could have options for that, and the size appears to be appropriate. It appears to be about the size of the sign that was there before.
I
and
measured
then-
the sign that was there before, so it's exactly the same size as the sign that
Okay.
was there before.
So size isn't an issue. It would just be conditional
Material.
on the lettering size and then the
Material.
backing material. So we could give them some options. It could be MDO plywood. We have approved metal, a sheet metal. We've also done, there's some corrugated materials that sign makers that used, I don't know what to call it. It's like gator board or something that we have approved. That's an acrylic type of material. Those are the three I can think of.
So if, Mr. Washington, if your sign company there on Northampton Street, if they have questions, they should put the questions in with the information that's already asked,
All right,
because we cannot approve it tonight,
all right,
as you know.
all right,
But we'll look at the information that comes through,
all right.
okay?
Can, wait, I had a question. Will I get everything that's said here today, will it be in the portal? Will I get a copy of it, or?
How do we want to do this? I mean, I was hoping maybe you could give it an approval,
Partial approval.
which
with
is basically
contingency. Right.
contingent on me getting what we approve tonight.
All right,
It's a conditional approval.
all right, that's cool.
And that means you
Make
wouldn't have
sure-
to come back before us, but you would have to report back to Christine, and she then will report back to us,
All right,
once you answer all the questions.
all right.
And
I
that
just do it-
allows you to get your sign done much quicker than having to wait another month to apply and then another, you'd lose
Okay.
several months that way.
All right, so I just.
And if I don't like it, I'm sending it back to you. Okay?
That's the way it works.
Understood. So
And
just
I don't
go-
mean like, it needs to meet what they say.
I just submit it back onto the portal then, once I get all the information. All right, cool. Thank you. Do I gotta stick around, or can I?
Well, so I
Well-
need a motion first if we're
Were
prepared to
were
go
you making
forward
that
way.
motion? Are you comfortable with that motion?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to do it that way, I just, we're going to conditionally approve something that hasn't been submitted, but you're saying as long as it uses one of those three materials, that we can approve the size, the lettering, and the three materials, and then when he talks with his sign company, they'll confirm which material, and then they'll send you a copy, a mock-up of the reduced sign with less text on it. Maybe it might shrink a little bit in length since all that stuff is not on there, but he'll send you the new sign with the window signage, with the vocabulary he wants on there. And if it includes times that he's open, all that'll be on those. And as long as that meets the requirements for zoning, then we'll approve it.
And the pinstripe that was requested, is that something you would like to have added?
I would add the pinstriping.
And Mr. Washington, that's just a thin line of like gold around the edge of the sign, okay?
Like a different material, or just like,
It's just printed, just like your letters,
okay,
okay?
all right.
It just creates like a little border, maybe an inch in from the edge of the sign that gives it the feeling of like a box.
A
around
frame.
it.
I
Frame.
understand, I know exactly what you're talking about.
So
So,
we have a motion, do we have a second?
did you get that? Did you get all that, Christine?
I believe so.
Yeah, I'll second.
All right.
We have motion, we have second. All those in favor?
Aye.
I,
Thank you for your time. Thank you for coming to our meeting.
Yep.
Your application was a little bit shy of what normally we would have for this application, but we don't want to be an obstacle in getting you up and running with your sign. So
All right, yep, yep,
whatever
yep.
you can do to work through the city and Christine's appreciated.
All right, thank you.
And thank you for investing in Easton.
All right.
Thank you. Take
Pleasure.
care.
I'll be on everything. I'll submit everything probably by the end of the week, so.
Thank you.
All right,
Sounds good. Thank you.
Have a good one, guys. Take it easy.
Thank you.
328 Bushkill Street, proposal to paint a mural along Route 22 overpass at Bushkill and North Third Street. The applicant would be Delaware River Joint Toll Bridge Commission. Is it Elisa Lopano?
Yes, Alyssa Lopano.
Thank you for coming in. Anxious to hear what you've got in store.
All righty. This structure includes poured concrete retaining walls that are part of the Route 22 overpass abutments. The overpass dates from the time of the construction of the highway in the, I'm going to guess, mid-20th century. I didn't research it, but the structure is utilitarian in style. And it's proposed to paint a mural or murals on the concrete retaining walls of the south side of Route 22 overpass. Both sides of 3rd Street are indicated to receive murals. The materials for the mural include bare masonry paint and other paints for exterior use. Brushes, rollers, and some spray paint would be used for applying the paint, and I believe there's also it's sealed with an anti-graffiti sealer. A little hard to get the right citation for this one, but because we're really not dealing with a historic structure. But one of the main concerns we might have is actually the painting of masonry if poured concrete is defined as masonry. And by definition, it appears that masonry, which is what we deal with in our design guidelines, typically refers to bricks and brick, stone, granites, limestone, et cetera, but basically units of brick or stone. The HDC guidelines recommend against painting historic masonry, brick and stone. This is really not that. So therefore, I think the painting of the concrete is not inconsistent with the guidelines. The other main concern really is the maintenance of the mural, which appears to be addressed in the MOA between Discover Lehigh Valley and the Joint Toll Bridge Commission. Discover Lehigh Valley is responsible for all maintenance, including inspection, cleaning, providing minor touch-ups, and graffiti removal as needed. The artwork and its style are typically not items that HDC reviews. The artist, just as a note, is Kyle Edwards. And then the questions that I really have are, is this the same mural on both sides? Do we have several murals? How many panels of the concrete are proposed to be covered?
Sure. So in my application, I included a sketch of the mural, and I have a printout here. Essentially, the mural would be split in half. Half of it would go on that left side
Okay.
of the,
And the other on the other side?
yes,
Okay.
yeah.
That's not what I thought.
and wait, Mario, on our screen and yours, we have this. Is there a way you can show that?
Yeah, okay.
Now,
Well, right now, we're showing the sketch.
All right.
Just to be clear, we can see the dotted line that goes down that separates the two. You want to pull up the wall that's going on?
Well, the audience brought up a good point there, Paul did, and
Hold on.
it
had it
doesn't
up.
show
We
it.
did have it
no,
up,
he
but-
had it up already, Clay. He just moved.
Oh, he had it up?
Yeah.
Let me pull up a different view here.
Well, I saw the bridge and the stonework, but
Okay.
there it is.
So it's left side, right side.
Yep.
And is it one
Yeah.
panel or two panels going to each side?
So-
I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, it would probably be closer to two,
Yeah,
sir.
okay.
Yeah.
Sounds,
Two on both sides.
Yes, ma'am.
two feels like it'd be more comfortable than one. One seems too short.
Yes, sir.
So your sketch is really very conceptual because the proportions are way different.
And I can kind of touch on that a bit. So it's rudimentary, if you will, the design, the sketch itself, but the vision is, working with DLV, Discovery Lehigh Valley, that is, we're doing a mural in Allentown, one in Bethlehem, one in Easton. When you put all three together, it creates one cohesive piece. So that's why it's kind of chopped up that way and the proportions are a little off right now. But again, once I get to the wall, then I'll make those necessary edits and changes.
Are
of
you
course.
Kyle?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Are you saying that you're doing the same thing in the other two cities, something similar?
Similar, yes, ma'am. So-
In a public area?
Yes, yep. As part of, Lehigh Valley 250 celebration, we want to have some sort of cohesion for each piece, but each city will take its own element and put that on the wall. And then again, hopefully, this is an opportunity, in my opinion, to bring the three cities together through art. So unbeknownst to the general public, each piece will come together to form a cohesive piece between Allentown, Bethlehem, and Easton.
Are they all on 22 abutments or are they in different locations?
Different locations.
Yeah, different locations. Allentown is on Hamilton Street between 5th and 6th. And Bethlehem's location is to be determined.
Are you in the historic district are you on North Bethlehem or South?
It could be either side. We will not be doing it within the historic district.
So,
It's really hard for me to judge this. It's so,
But in terms of the painting, we can't really. I mean, we don't have even enough to
It's not in this.
say anything about that. Really, to me, it's the painting of the concrete and the maintenance of it.
the maintenance, yeah. Talk about the maintenance.
We have a preliminary MOA with the Joint River Toll Commission
I saw that.
to maintain it. I don't remember if there's an exact timeline in there, but it is Discover Lehigh Valley's, goal that we would keep this up for an extended period of time.
And graffiti can't go on it. I read that. Is that correct?
Well, it's
I'm going to apply a protective layer to
Okay.
hopefully combat that. Certainly if it happens, I would then hopefully go back and that exterior additional coat will make it much easier to remove said graffiti.
Have you looked at any of the other murals in downtown historic Easton? And have you had anything to do with the ones that are already here?
Not in Easton, but I personally installed about 45 murals. I've worked with the Philadelphia Eagles, installed 5 murals for them. I've traveled as far as Nicaragua to install a mural. So I wish I'm sorry, I'm not prepared. I didn't know what I was walking into, but I wish I had some of my finished murals so you kind of conceptualize colors and the vibrancy. But this has been, I worked with the Boys and Girls Club for over 6 weeks to work on a design in Easton. The kids of Boys and Girls Club in Easton to get some elements to include in this design. So this has been, a bit of a labor of love, if you will. A lot of
So
thought
they
went
gave you
into this.
input into that?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's,
so that's kind of like where we come in with the Pennsylvania Council on the Arts and Arts Quest through funding. We were able to do it as an artist residency. So Kyle works with Allentown, Bethlehem, and Easton Boys and Girls Club to kind of start up the project with the design process and getting some ideas from the students.
love that.
and it sounds like this is for a certain length of time. Then what? Are you going to remove it, or does it stay there
No,
forever?
we don't
So I'm
plan
just
to
trying-
remove it.
Just
It's
trying to
something-
understand that.
it's, Discover Lehigh Valley wants to make a contribution to our region to celebrate 250. And we believe in public art, and so this is kind of our gift to the 3 cities. And it is our hope that it lasts for a very long time. We do
Okay.
not have plans
The what
to
you
remove
said
it.
made me think you were going to take it down. The way you said it, and I was like,
No,
is that
No,
what you
I'm sorry
intend?
if I made it sound like that, but no, we don't have plans to take it down unless for some reason something came up where the property, the Delaware River Joint Toll Commission wanted to remove it, they could.
What's the general lifespan of your murals, Kyle? Out of curiosity, I mean, they last a good long time,
Good long
right?
time. So I recommend every 5 to 7 years, general maintenance. But those are details we could certainly work out. But so the masonry paint, I think it's semantics too. I wanted to touch on that. So masonry paint that I use, it's bare, good quality exterior paint. It just so happens it's called masonry paint. But again, I use it for just about all my murals, and many of which are obviously still standing for many, many years.
Well,
Kyle, I pulled up a couple examples.
Oh,
I see
cool.
the-
There we go.
yeah.
There's some vibrancy there, some color.
Anything you want me to click?
Maybe the one at Deeroff, because I graduated from there and I'm proud of that one. But yeah, the Husky there.
The Husky?
Yep. Or the one to its left too as well. Those are the flowers that did downtown Allentown. That's the single largest mural painted in the city of Allentown.
No, this one's gonna give me a problem. I'm going to Instagram.
Sorry.
But
Yeah,
I
you
think
get,
we
you
get-
get the idea there.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I've noticed that the murals in Easton, they're still quite vibrant, so, yeah, I haven't experienced a lot of fading, so maybe,
They last quite a while.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
it
If you
appears
use
to
the
me.
correct paints.
yeah,
Certainly.
yeah.
And this one will have some more, again, I would have brought the final rendering, but more muted tones, if you will, red, white, and blues and variations of those to pay homage to the history and the vintage kind of vibe that we're going for with this. But still very vibrant.
And is that the consistent colors that you're doing in the other cities?
Yes, ma'am.
I see.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you see like a big canvas artwork somebody's gonna want to put in their house of that?
That would be awesome.
Could be.
Yeah.
They could hire
Yeah,
me.
I-
Yes.
Now, who is the funding source?
Discover Lehigh Valley and PA Council of the Arts.
And are we able to hear what that funding is? How much?
Sure. Hi, my name's Alex Michaels. I'm the CEO of Discover Lehigh Valley. I just wanted to answer any questions. Yes, the funding on our part, it's approximately about $30,000 with a matching funds from Arts West. So altogether, the project should be close to $60,000.
60,000.
And
On-
that's
on
for
for
all
all three.
three
Yeah,
cities.
all 3 cities. Like Kyle and Alyssa said, this project is, it's been 2 years in the making. We've had multiple conversations with all 3 cities, gone through multiple approval process, but this was kind of like the last step to get started. Like Alyssa said, the project will be in all 3 cities. Our hope from Discover Lehigh Valley, who we are the destination marketing organization of the region, our goal is to start elevating Lehigh Valley as an arts and culture destination, and in hopes with LB 250 and this works to kind of start elevating that. So this was kind of like our first stab at that. We commissioned Kyle. We felt really strongly in the kind of work that he does. But we really want this piece to be something beautiful that the city of Easton and their residents will be proud of. And we hope that they won't want to take it down. And our goal is to maintain it as long as possible. And if at some point we can hire Kyle in the future to do some additional work, we'd be happy to do that. But we hope that this will be a start of many beautiful projects that will come to the Easton. But we want it to be something that the residents love and want. And that's why we're not necessarily going to the historic district in Bethlehem, because we have back and forth conversations on whether they want it in the historic district or not, so.
There's not a lot of spots there either.
We did find a location
Yeah.
on Broad Street, but again, it falls right in the historic district, so instead of getting into the semantics of it, we decided, hey, we can find another building. There's a lot of nice walls that we can make beautiful without having to get into an area that might be controversial.
This is a question I have, maybe for any one of you. Have you, I love the concepts that you got the input from the kids. And it is, you're really branding each city. Have you run that by city officials? And they okay with that? Does
Yes,
that make-
definitely.
does my
That's actually
question
where
make
we
sense?
started. In the city of Easton, we met with John Kingsley and Mayor Panto
Okay.
and their team.
Okay.
We've also, Kyle had multiple conversations with Lafayette College and many other stakeholders in the city. You kind of were the last piece of this puzzle. Easton, Bethlehem was very similar. We met with the mayor's group
Okay.
and their teams and their historic district and all that. And then, of course, in Allentown with the Mayor Turk was probably the initial conversation I had when he was interested in doing this in Allentown. So, yeah, it's been quite a process.
Sure.
But it's
I-
been exciting to learn more
I
about
felt
this.
when I was looking at it, I just felt, is there something missing? You know, like, but what else is there about Easton that, and I couldn't come up with anything, so.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Obviously,
that's
other
great.
people have done the same thing.
You know, one thing Kyle assured me is that once he starts working, his creative juices come in, so, you know, he'll make some adjustments on it, but we wanted to at least give you a concept of what's coming, with a lot of input from children, from stakeholders, and all
Okay.
kinds of people in the area. So, like I said, it's been a well-thought-out process, and I believe you're the final piece of this puzzle.
I personally like the concept. I would just want to make sure that it was large enough on each side so it doesn't feel too truncated, that it feels like
Yeah.
a flow between both sides of the bridge going through.
Yeah.
And would want to confirm that it's only on the concrete, not on the stone
It is,
part of
that was
the,
part of the initial conversation, that there was that brick area there by the bridge, they didn't want anything on there. So
Correct.
we looked at every possibility, so we kind of stayed where we knew it would be more
But
acceptable.
overall, I like the concept, and I personally feel that as a board, we stay out of the artistic impression of what's done.
Right.
Our job is to say whether it's appropriate to be on the wall within the historic district. And
Sure.
my comments are that I think what you're proposing is a benefit. I love the murals that are throughout the downtown.
Yeah, we and spoke with Jared Mass as well, and he was very excited about this possibility, so.
Do we have comments from other commissioners on this?
Yeah, I have a comment or two. Not every mural downtown is terrific.
Understood.
How do you understand that?
Well, because everybody, I believe art is
It's art.
subjective. You know, subjective. What is not beautiful to one person might be beautiful to the other. So not everybody believes that, but I mean.
I'm asking Christine this and the board members. I'm expressing my own opinion, nobody else here. And do we get an opportunity to see something else besides this sketch?
I mean,
Is it required?
No.
No.
so at this point, no.
We'd be happy to provide an update if it's required.
Well, are you happy to provide an update if it's not required?
My only concern is that the artist will develop things as he's working on the wall and starting to get the ideas.
Yeah.
And what we have here on your rendering isn't necessarily the proportion of the wall, but once you get onto the wall, the concept might be the same, but I would imagine the final product might be different. So I don't want to constrain your artistic ability because I'm saying I need to see something
Right.
in paper. So that's just my personal opinion on art, nor do I know whether it's part of our,
I don't think it's part of our
Part of
decision
our
rights.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
It's not part of our decision rights.
It isn't, but here's another thing that I think about. We have to report our findings to City Council. City Council is the final determining factor, okay? We're only advisory. And so I would suggest to you politically that you make sure that the mayor or his group, whoever, informs City Council about this.
They will.
Do you know if they have been informed?
Yeah, we've been speaking with John Kingsley and Mayor Panto often on this. We've
No,
had
I mean
multiple-
about City Council.
No, they have not requested that at this
Well,
point.
it's just a suggestion on my behalf. No one else here is saying yes or no, and it doesn't matter to me. But City Council should be aware of what you're doing, because in the end, they're the ones that the citizens talk to.
Sure.
Citizens don't come to us.
Phil, in theory, by us approving it, it is going to go to city council because they have to approve it.
Right.
So I don't think there needs to be any pre-presentation because we are the board that the council has chosen to review it. We review it. If we feel it meets the needs, then we approve it and it goes to city council. They will see the packet, and then if they don't like what we approve, they can say, hey, no, we're not accepting this. But if we've done our due diligence, they're gonna look at it, and if they're doing their job, they're gonna review and say, okay, this is what they were looking at. I see it looks nice, and then
Well, I don't disagree with that, Charbel. What I'm saying is, though, that art is in the eye of the beholder, and they can look at the packet. It might be helpful, as it's been suggested, to get a little more on it than just expecting it's going to be wonderful when it's on the wall. That's all. It's a
Are
suggestion.
you referring to a final draft or a final design? Is that what you're referring to?
I'm only referring to it not to have the board do anything about that tonight unless they choose to. I would personally like that. If I were to get questions, then I can say, I've seen what they're proposing, and it's okay with me. You don't have to like it, but it's okay with me. So as one commissioner, that's what I'm saying. It's up to the rest of the board if they want it that way.
A
Chris-
final design can be submitted as, if it's required, absolutely. It's not like this is going to change, like Kyle's not gonna go off the
Chris-
wall and change completely. So this is the draft, so this is kind of like what it would look like. There might be slight changes in terms of proportion and that sort of thing, is not the
Yeah.
design itself. So just wanted to make that clear.
Christine,
And a
we-
final design can be submitted.
We just went over a sign concept and we approved it without seeing a final draft. I don't think we need to keep going in circles. I think if we all agree, I'll even make the motion to accept it as presented after you make a call to see if the public has any questions. But I understand what Phil is saying. But we're saying that it can be put on the stone,
Or on the,
on
not
the,
on the
on the
stone.
concrete.
Yeah.
They explain that they're going to maintain it. And I think that's really all our purview is, what it costs to, if what it's going to look like when it's done. I mean, we have a concept here. The colors aren't in our realm of what we're supposed to approve or not approve. I think we should, I'm making a proposal to approve it as submitted, with it being split, and that it will be proportioned when they lay it out. It'll be proportioned to the areas they have.
You want to get questions before?
I want to get questions from the public if they have any, and then we'll, please come forward, and then we will continue.
Paul Felder again. Sorry if I'm going to wear out my welcome tonight. I would just like to follow up on Mr. Mittman's comments that this body is a recommending body. City Council is the one that acts. From what you've mentioned. City Council, with the exception of the mayor who is on City Council, has not seen this. And personally, I think it would be a bad or an unfortunate precedent for City Council to be approving things which are conceptual. I don't think anybody is asking or expects a finished mural to go before council. But I would urge you to go beyond what you've described as something that is very conceptual, that the proportions are going to change, that it's going to be muted colors, except they're going to be very vibrant. That's really not a basis, I think, for City Council to be approving something. So that my suspicion is that there will be opposition in City Council, and I don't know about among City Council, but in the City Council meeting, if this is all that's presented to City Council. I think the historic concept of this is probably appropriate, and I don't think is anything that anybody's going to object to, although I could be wrong about that. Yeah. And I agree that judging the artwork is beyond the purview of this body. However, it's not beyond the purview of City Council. Sure. They can approve it or disapprove it, and I would just urge you to do more work on this thing, which I'm sure as an artist you're going to do anyway. You're going to be doing sketches of the right proportions and the colors that you want. And consequently, I think that when or if this goes to City Council, it'd be far more developed than it is now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon, evening. Brett Weber, 120 Morrison Avenue. I just wanted to provide a comment regarding the nature of the submission and also in the context of the prior submission. And I honor, as a fellow artist, I'm an architect and artist, and honor the creativity and the ambition of this being a public initiative. But if we're elevating the arts, let's elevate it in the course of doing so in these presentations in the professional manner that it should be, which is to say, this commission should be understanding context. This commission has guidelines for dimensions. Proportion is the design, as I know you'll refer to, right? You've reacted to that. So there really should not be a decision based on unknowns. There should be decisions and recommendations that are based on knowns. This is 20 feet long, or it's 40 feet long, or it's 60 feet long. That changes everything. This is the public realm. We all pay for this as taxpayers, what we see and how we interact with art. We don't really have an art commission to address this sort of stuff. But I mean, one of the thoughts is too about gifts that are in honor of the 250 or thinking about the next decade or 4 decades from now is maybe this is an installation that is actually panelized. So that art might be moved to some other location, so it's a way of reappropriating it. You're not permanently modifying that sort of civic entourage, which is, you know, rather benign. It's a landscape element and it's a blank wall, and decoration is great, but this commission really should be reviewing dimensions. And you don't need a final design. You might request it. It might be nice if that's provided so that you get a better sense of it. But I really don't understand how we're making conceptual approvals, because I have seen multiple designs that have been submitted before this commission where they said it's the same size as the same facade and the installed sign or installed piece is different. And we don't have a process yet in place to go back and check that. It's like lighting, but signage and these installations, the dimensions, the plan is the thing, and the elevations are the thing. You should have those dimensions before you're making recommendations like this. I think also this is such a big deal in the public realm that City Council should very much be involved. Our new planner should be endorsing it and saying, hey, this makes sense, because it's also setting precedent. I love the idea. I come from Philadelphia as well. Like, we had murals everywhere, great mural arts program. But it really should be seen in the context of like, well, where are the other places that are going to be hit? And are we setting a precedent here that we need to be concerned about or that we embrace? The dimensions drive it. It's easier to understand it. You know, it's beyond having just the pink outlines. You know, you guys know how to use Photoshop. Put it on there and see what it is and show those dimensions. Then everybody can get a better sense of comfort about it. I just think we need to raise our professional game on review and presentation so we can make thoughtful, informed decisions about these things. So, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Brett. Yes. Come on.
Hi, my name's Lou Agrusa. I'm a decorative artist. I work in restoration. One of the things that I've noticed this evening is that there really isn't a very good technical understanding of specific things in respect to the individual with the sign. There was no encouragement to longevity and durability. I don't think those things were addressed, and I think that the commission here should have guidelines as to the functionality of pieces. If you're doing a sign, the sign has to have built-in longevity so that it doesn't peel, it doesn't delaminate, it doesn't corrode, and that's just a functional element, not the aesthetics. The aesthetics, as these individuals focused on, is an important aspect as well, but coming from the perspective of durability, longevity, maintenance, historical integrity, and maintaining that, you should concentrate or have guidelines as to specific aspects. You're doing an exterior sign, it has to have some border around it, has to be made of waterproof materials, has to have UV resistance, it has to have longevity. Those are things that would be very constructive. In regards to what I heard with these individuals that want to paint concrete, painting concrete is a technical art, and I didn't hear 2 things that should have been mentioned. One, the surface preparation is essential in order to score the surface to ensure adhesion. And without taking those proper steps, the initial steps, using binding agents to ensure that the substrate and the paint surface adhere rather rigidly is very important. And if you skip that step, what happens is 10 years down the line, you have the mural delaminating, peeling, and unmaintainable and dysfunctional, and ultimately becomes an eyesore. So those functional aspects, if you don't know it yourselves, you should speak to people that do these types of things to get the inside scoop on durability, particularly exterior projects. So, thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comments? Charbel, do you
Any changes?
have any changes to your?
The only thing I would say is that in regards to how it's put together, our group here and Christine, correct me if I'm wrong, in the training that we had for this board, we don't have any jurisdiction over how something is built or how it's made. For code requirements, there's codes and stuff, but there's nothing for paint. We don't have a paint board. Did they prime it? Did they score it? We're presented with design concepts, and if it fits the concept, but this is not structural. This almost comes to the same thing that when we had the monument. It's not in anything that we had given to us in regards to what we're supposed to look at. Everything was supposed to be sizing, massing, and that it fits into the neighborhood. There was nothing in any of the training, I mean, and any of you could correct me if I'm wrong, that referenced murals. There's nothing that I don't
Yeah,
recall.
But, I mean, in some of the technical aspects, I would assume, Kyle, that you are well versed in. I mean, these are important points.
Certainly.
It is hard for us to get into all of those technical aspects and have that written in, because, like you said, that's not really the level that we're working at.
No.
But-
That's the only thing. I mean, I respect what both gentlemen said, but they're not. The idea is this fit in massing. There is no massing. They're not building something. It's something that already exists, and now we're being given a proposal to put art on that. I don't know that. I've never seen paint on concrete over a long period of time last, but technology constantly changes. And there are ways to prep the concrete stuff. I'm fully aware of that. But in what we're delegated to do here, we're not in the technical end of it where we have to oversee every step they do, because we don't even have an inspection force, which there's another gentleman here who brought that up. We don't even have an arm that goes back and checks it. So other than saying that, I still think that we could approve it with them providing a rendering with some color to it of what it's supposed to look like in color. I would modify my comments to agree that it would be better suited, as Paul said, to have the color in it. I know he said that it was blue, and I do agree, the vibrant, but it was not vibrant. I think something in color, a rendering of what it might look like. It can't be 30 feet high because the wall's only 8 feet or whatever it is. So we know it's limited to the height. And that stretch of concrete, although is in sections, it only goes so far. You got another street on the other side.
Yeah, and we can get those dimensions. That could be a condition actually to have in our write-up, is that we know how long this is and how high. That's an easy thing for you to supply. I do agree with Mr. Mittman, Mr. Felder, that having something more developed for city council would be a really good thing to do. I think you could easily not get an approval without it.
And just so everyone's aware, again, some of these things I've been painting for so long, I assume they go without saying, and I should get better at communicating. So how I developed this design, I rolled out a very large sheet of paper, hung it on my studio wall, and worked on the entire piece for Allentown, Bethlehem, and Easton. That's why it's segmented like this, and the proportions are not accurate, because again, it was a long sheet of paper. I have been working on a final rendering with the colors included, so definitely have that, and we'll have that ready for city council should we need to present that. So again, some of these things, preparation of the wall, of course, priming it, cleaning it first, priming it, all these things are just kind of what I do on a pretty consistent basis. But yeah, that's why it looks the way it looks. It's a little, again, less detailed, but my final rendering has the color, has the detail, things of that nature.
I do believe the turnaround to get onto city council's agenda is pretty quick this month. So you may want to check in with the city if you could get something. I think it might be this week, but I'm not sure. So I have to double check myself.
Great.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But I do think you do. I mean, it is the public realm. There's going to be lots of interest and concerns and discussion, and I think it's to your benefit to have it more developed.
But I have a question for Charbel. Are you adding that, you think that our commission would need to see the colors? Because I don't think I agree with that. I think city council would like to see it, and that will help you get a yes very quickly. But for our criteria, we don't.
We don't
when
do
they come-
colors anyway.
Huh?
We don't.
We don't do colors,
no.
and when someone comes to the council, commission and wants to mortar, we don't ask them how they're gonna do it, right? We wanna make sure that they're gonna do it with the right kind of material,
Mortar.
right?
Right,
So
and there's
we're
some
not-
aspects of technical
Right, that
things that
we
we
have to check.
refer to preservation briefs and other
Right.
documents.
Right.
But I think our jurisdiction is, do we agree that in a historic district, they can paint a mural? And what is the size and scale of that mural to each side of the bridge, the bridge?
Again, when you go to South Side, there was a mural painted to the left side, and that thing is the whole height of the wall, and it stretches down the side of the road. I don't know, we don't have, and they did, they brought up a good point. We don't have an arts committee, or maybe that's something that's going to evolve over time, but we don't have one right now, and it's not in our jurisdiction. That's the thing I think we're missing here, is it's not in our realm of review. We can't even say that, I can't even say that I like what you did or don't like, because it's not my opinion. We have guidelines, and whatever we agree to has to be based that does it or does it not meet the guidelines. But murals aren't really in our guidelines. And so that's why I'm saying we're kind of like,
It's a different animal.
yeah,
But,
I just,
Okay, so we need size and scale.
So if you could submit the
Dimensions.
dimensions as soon as possible,
Sure, and I can do that through the portal,
I
like
believe
to
you
my
can.
application?
Yeah, I believe you can.
Okay.
I haven't done it.
And so the question is, I do think it'd be great if we could see size and scale, but are we going to decide it's too big, or are we going to decide it's too
No,
small?
I think it's just that we can have,
Yeah,
so
okay.
that everyone's clear where it's going.
Okay.
And it's
'Cause
going to be
I don't think we have
30
decision rights
feet
over the
long,
size.
and it's going to be 8 feet high, something
Yeah.
like that.
Okay. Charbel, where are you? Are you still there?
I'm still where I was, but if he could do a rendering to submit with our packet, so that when it gets to council, they have a colored version to see.
Absolutely.
That'd be nice.
Well, I don't know if we can get that to city council by the next council meeting? That's unlikely, or maybe.
Well, it would
it is.
have to happen after we approve it, if we approved it. And then they would get it in the packet, just like we just approved this other gentleman for his sign, and we don't have the material, we don't have the size, we don't, that's my point. Either we have the material to make the approval, or we don't. We can't say this one, we'll approve it, but this one we can't.
So what is city council meetings? They're the second and the fourth?
Yeah.
So it'll be on the 22nd, which means I need to get this in by like in 2 days, 3 days.
Yeah.
I have to get the packet, my materials from this meeting in a couple days. If you're able to get something in that time, it would be ideal, because it would go in with the council agenda.
Yes or no?
Are you asking me, sir? Certainly,
Can you
yeah.
manage it?
Yeah, yeah, we
Yeah,
definitely.
So it's
Take
the
a measurement.
dimensions, the colors, and like a color draft, is
A
what you're
color
saying?
draft, yeah.
I just wanna make sure
I'll
that's
call it a
clear, 'cause-
rendering, some sort of mock-up.
Sure. I can superimpose the image on the actual wall so you can
Yes.
kind of see.
Yeah.
Sure.
Nice.
And one more before Charbel finishes his motion. When were you expecting to start?
Yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah, we're
really?
behind
When are you
schedule.
expecting
Yeah.
to start?
So as soon as you get approval.
Yeah.
You're gonna approve.
Nice.
I have to say, my daughter was born in Easton, although I'm an Allentonian through and through. Near and dear in my heart, Easton, so
I love
thank
it.
you for this.
Is it a second?
You have a motion from Charbel. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
We have a motion, we have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 I'm abstaining.
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ayes and 1 abstention. Thank you for your time
Thank you.
tonight.
Thank
We
you.
look
Very exciting.
forward
Thank
to
you.
what you come up with and
Yes,
what
sir.
you do.
Thank
Can't
you so
wait to
much.
see it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And just for, again, to point for the gentleman who spoke, I totally agree with you. It's just that it's not in our, we're not allowed to make to ask that. Sometimes I get in trouble for asking how things are being built, and I'm not supposed to, but I don't disagree with you. We just assume that the people who are doing the work are doing it according to standards.
Well,
Yeah, well,
we do have.
but like they said too, like, you might like it, I might see and say, oh,
Yeah.
oh.
This, I think this was fine.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we always assume that the person doing the work,
We
like when
trust,
contractors come here all the time for it, we assume that they're doing it to some type of standard.
we trust that.
Right, but it's not in our purview to ask them, are you certified in this? Did you do this? Did you do that? That's all I'm saying. I don't disagree with you, just it's not in something that we can ask them.
Okay, our next application is 140 South.
Clay, sorry, I do need to, for the record, just state, while this case was fit, one of the things that we do have in our design guidelines is that a case represents broad historical values representing the cultural, political, economic, or social history of the city of Easton. So
Yippee.
there is areas where we would get involved in something like this.
And I thought they did a nice
Yeah.
representation of that.
I know, but I just wanted to clarify,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Next application, 140 South Union Street, proposal to repair a step. Applicant Esteban Bida Valderde.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Now, before I go into my write-up, are we sure this is in the historic district?
This is what they say to me.
Yeah,
And
I
it's-
know, but it's like, it says it's on, that the
Yeah.
boundaries on either side of Sixth Street. This property does not touch Sixth Street.
Correct.
And it didn't even look like the steps needed repair.
No, this is what I don't get it.
Well, I couldn't figure out what step it was.
Oh, okay.
But I question, I don't know what to do here because I don't know, I can't find a map that would give me the information.
Visible.
My understanding
And
was,
it's just filling a gap. It's not fixing anything. I don't change anything. It's just fixing the gap. Because it's
So
not-
is it in the back of your home?
no, it's just the step when you walk in.
It's the front.
It's the front.
Yeah, but
front
it
step.
didn't match up with any image I had of the front of the building. So I was confused because it has, the photo you have has like wooden posts and
Yeah, it is by the. That was the railing, the handrail.
yeah, it doesn't match with, I mean, can I verify that I've got the right building?
did this come up as a code violation, or did this come up when you went for a
Code
permit?
violation.
Code violation. So the
Yes.
code enforcement officer cited it as historic district decision.
Yes.
Sir, is it this building?
Yes.
The brick one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Excuse me, the brick one?
Yeah.
My,
Doesn't match up with the image.
my understanding is our jurisdiction is both sides of Sixth Street.
That's my understanding. This does not
And
touch.
Union Street is west
And
of
they
Sixth
charge me
Street.
$30 and $100 for that, like the applications. It's like
So my
This
personal,
doesn't touch Sixth Street.
my personal opinion is it's not in our jurisdiction. I don't know if the city has a way to refund a fee if they requested that you come before us when it was
Sure they can.
not within our area.
They have a way to refund the
Yeah.
money.
They gotta.
Yeah,
They do have a way to refund the
Okay.
money.
So as far as I'm concerned, you were asked from a code officer to come before us to get your step approved, and it's not in our jurisdiction, so we don't have anything to, we have
Yeah,
nothing to
I-
approve.
I'm the same thing like you do.
You didn't
I'm
know.
The same, yeah, the same
But
why. I don't
I mean, I
understand,
was
but-
trying to find something that had clarity on it, but all I could find was that our western boundary was Sixth Street, properties that touched Sixth Street on either side. Your property does not.
No.
Okay.
So what?
Go
Jim-
back to the.
Let me just, Jim, do you know why this do you know who may have referred this to Historic Commission? What is it?
Okay.
So
All right. That explains it.
Yeah.
There's a permit prior to, and for some reason it didn't open up. It's saying that it's in the HDC. He had a permit that was done back in March 2nd. Or no, not March 2nd. It was
That was when I had to do the inspection.
Yeah, maybe there was a question answered in the form, but They're going to refund you the money. All the money that you spent will be refunded. Okay,
think we need to-
maybe when you filled out the form, you might have clicked something.
No, that was the lady downstairs. She's the one that helped me to put everything together.
Yeah.
And then she decided it wasn't here. They need to come back.
So we need to clarify it.
Okay.
But at this point, I can't find anything that says this is in.
Unfortunately, you were inconvenienced to come here. I can only apologize on.
That's all right.
Yeah, but he'll make sure that you're refunded.
What did I need?
Okay.
Just to get done the
Yep.
job and
Okay.
be up to the code.
Okay.
Thank you very
Yep,
much.
sorry
Thank you
about
for
that.
coming. Sorry for the inconvenience.
Thank you.
140 Bushkill Street, proposal to repair, repaint, replace front facade door and frame, lighting, shutters, and install handrail. The applicant would be the Redevelopment Authority of East End, Michael Brett. Thank you, Michael, for coming.
Thank you. You mean-
All right, this structure is a 3-story, 3-bay, semi-detached brick building with a low-sloping roof, gable roof, 6/6 and 9/9 wood windows with paneled shutters, and a unique entry door with classical surround. The entry had concrete bullnose steps and metal handrails, which appear to have been removed circa 2013 to 2016.
Possibly.
The building is federal in style and dates from the early to mid-19th century. It's proposed to repair in kind and repaint the front door surround, replace sconce lighting, install new metal handrails, and install new shutters on the first floor. The first floor shutters will be replaced with new 3-panel composite material shutters with historic pintle and strap hinges and other historically appropriate hardware, which would be slide bolts and rings. A new traditionally styled metal handrail with lamb's tongue termination will be installed at the front steps on both sides. Top rail will have the scalloped cross-section. The supports will be 1-inch square and balusters a 1/2-inch square. The new sconces proposed appear to be 13 inches high by 16 wide by 16 1/4 deep, antique brass lanterns. The standards here are standard 9 and standard 6 in terms of repair in kind. The proposed work is historically appropriate. Some suggestions. When you look at older Google Street views, you can see the base of the door surround if you haven't already looked back in time. It was very simple, but you can see it. It's really just a block. You will also see the handrails that were there before, which were a little bit more ornate and was suggesting possibly to do the same. It's not that complicated.
Okay.
And then composite shutters should have appropriate thickness and molding details, and it's suggested. The one company I use a lot is, and there's others I'm sure, is Timber Lane, which does have a composite material that is very well proportioned and will not look like a composite fake
Yeah,
shutter.
that was one of the companies, when we RFP this, we can rarely cite manufacturers. So that was one of the companies where I'll pull off specifications and put it in the RFP.
That's what I would suggest, yeah. And they also have great hardware.
They do.
So those were my suggestions.
Was this project brought here before?
No, the building next door was 138 Bushkill came maybe last year or the
Yeah,
year
they
before
were-
for
Okay.
brick
they were
coat
here
removal.
before.
This is the one that was like a halfway house or something for women?
It was a transitional housing project, so we bought this from the Easton Neighborhood Center. They
Okay.
still operate their roof over program out of 3 of the 6 units, and then the other 3 will be open affordable housing units. So they're generally 9 to 12-month leases through the housing neighborhood, the neighborhood center.
Okay.
It's a manned building, so there's a case manager there every day. Are there any questions? Most of our work all the work is on the first floor and down. We'll get to the upper floors as funding allows. As Chris said, the base around the door, we are proposing something very simpler, just a block with a base cap at most. But if it's even more simpler than that, we can eliminate the base cap and just do a straight block at the bottom. Other than that, just if there's something rotted, we'll replace in kind. The windows are already, I don't know when they were replaced, but they're wood with aluminum clad. So we're not proposing to do anything like that. We are going to remove the aluminum on the wood, on the windows on the first floor.
Oh, right, I forgot that, yeah.
I can't remember put that in there. Painting, we're just going to match the kind of off-white that's already there so the windows blend in. And then install a threshold at the front door. That was,
And the proportions of the shutters would be appropriate so that it would be the sizing. So if, in theory, they closed, they would be,
yeah, absolutely.
right, thank you.
Yeah, the ones up there now are just, they're like a plywood.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe 3/4 at the most thick, not thinner.
Commissioner, questions?
No.
Any questions from the public? Please come forward.
I noticed with this project that you're focusing on shutters and doors, but I don't understand how you can have those meters as an incredible eyesore to the historic integrity of the structure.
You'll talk to
Sure-
UGI.
sure
they
wish
just-
we
they
could
just put
change
them
it.
in.
We agree, we've had debates with
And
UGI
exactly.
and
Right,
we,
and we understand that they need to have meters in an accessible location. So perhaps you might suggest something along the lines of a screening done in a historical manner, maybe wrought iron, black, matte.
That could be
something that
something for
helps
future
conceal it.
projects. At this point, our funding doesn't really permit a whole
Right.
lot extra.
But you are
yeah, I
correct.
agree.
It's a
I don't disagree with you.
nope, you're correct, and we've had fights with the utility companies, and in most cases, we have lost that fight.
We have to. So
We have them all over the city downtown,
And
so
it's an eyesore.
It is,
It is, I
and
agree.
we agree with you
not happy
completely.
about it.
Century, but
No.
there is perhaps a way in which you could design something which allows them to view their meters and yet hide it. Just come up with-
I think when we had the representatives here, if I remember correctly, they said that we could, where it could be done,
Certain
if they built
areas.
a
Not-
removable cover, I think, did they not say that? But like the big ones, we couldn't do anything with, like at the waterfront, but
Right.
did I remember that correctly? That,
I can't remember for sure, Charbel, I know that we could paint them.
Yeah.
They said we could paint them,
I
but
thought they said if someone wanted to put a vented shroud or something, as long as it was not connected, they could just,
rip it off.
Or just to be able to view the important information. which
yeah,
is
when they were out there, they recommended if we wanted to do something. I think the building on Bushkill and 3rd Street, where the marriage counselor is in the apartments, they have screening in front of their meters. It's a low. They have a
Yeah.
wood screening.
I think their
I think
biggest thing
something
was
like
that it
that
had to
was
be
acceptable.
accessible.
Yeah, that's an open top, like
And
face,
venting,
basically, yeah.
venting, accessible and venting.
So at some point, we tried to work with them really hard to get this on the side of the building. It just wasn't working out with some of the structural components inside the building and some of the things going on. So it was unfortunate. We hated to see it, but we
Nope,
didn't have a choice.
We understand your concern,
Yeah,
and
no, I
it
We
agree.
have
has
the
come up
same,
before.
we have the same infliction on our building.
Yep.
With this, horrid gas meter, and so I'd like to bring that up when we discuss our case. The other
Okay.
point is the door. What will the door consist of? Will it be a
The door, we're
raised
not-
panel door?
Yeah, we're not proposing to change the door. We're gonna do some repairs on the door and painting and new hardware.
It's an original door? or-
I'm not sure if it's original. I doubt it is original. It's old, but not original.
I
It's
don't
solid
believe
wood,
it's
but I
ori-
doubt
yeah,
it's original
I
to the
don't
building.
believe original at
so
all.
I- Right, so I think that thank you for your comments. And do we have any other comments from the public? If not, do I have a motion on this proposal?
I'll make a motion to approve as submitted.
I'll second.
We have a motion, we have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thanks, Michael.
123 North 4th Street, proposal to replace windows at fire escape. Applicant Patricia Graves. Welcome, thank you for coming.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm not sure, but, well, I found out today. I had an inspection today, and I found out that they want me to put 8 fire safety windows along my fire escape, which is in the rear of the building. The facade is on 4th Street, and the view of the back is Bank Street.
Yeah, and this is your building,
That's the back, yes.
and this is the
Oh,
front.
that's, yes, that's
Yeah,
front.
just
We have a
I-
photo up there on the screen as well.
wanna, I didn't put that in my
Yeah, I
Right
have
up.
some here going back to Bank Street if you'd like to see. I printed some out.
Is that similar to that one?
Further back, that's just, yeah. This one goes all the way back to Bank Street.
Yeah,
where
you
it
are-
shows-
you're quite distant in terms of the street for the rear here. So the structure is a 3-story detached wood frame residential building with slate mansard roof, 2 roof dormers, 2/2 double hung windows, an original pair of entry doors with an entry surround with modest Italianate details and wood siding. The house, again, is mixed in style with Queen Anne and Italianate details and dates from the mid to late 19th century. The rear of the house is visible from Bank Street and includes a frame 2-story extension and a fire escape. It's proposed to replace now windows, not just one. The material, you didn't indicate the material, but it is assumed it's a metal fire-rated window.
I don't know. He told me today they had to be fire rated, and he said there's 8.5 because there's one in the alleyway that's a very small window. And he said that one will also have to be. The windows that are there now are the old weighted windows. I think 6 of them are the old weighted windows, and some of them actually have the old glass in them. But they didn't know, nobody could say, yes, I need to follow the guidelines here, or no, I do not. So
I mean, it's a code issue that I don't think we have a lot of latitude on. Years ago, you could place a metal sort of, I'll call it a storm panel over and do wire glass, but I don't think that will fly anymore. Kind of looking at Charbel or James, I don't know how Easton is looking at that. And short of that, replacing with a steel, there's another application tonight with a steel fire-rated window that looks like, it's a single hung, and it looks like a 1/1. That's, I don't know that we have a lot of
So-
latitude.
You haven't had the time to go investigate or look at the windows yet, correct? You just found out today.
Because I was waiting for my inspection, and they both happened to fall today, the meeting here, and someone suggested, why don't you jump ahead and see what the board says? Am I required to do
And
anything
it's
special?
a 3-unit building? Yeah, so
They go into commercial.
anything within 10 feet of the fire escape is required. And it's not a new requirement. I mean, it's been around for a long time, but,
It's been interpreted differently.
are your
times.
windows, do they have wire glass in them now? They don't. So I'm kind of puzzled on why it's getting picked up. Like,
now?
you've been inspected before, haven't you?
Not for 12 years.
Oh,
They've not inspected me for 12 years.
yeah, I don't know how that got that far along, but, it is required. Anything within 10 feet of the fire escape has to be, a fire-rated window. I will tell you that, we don't market windows for people, but you'll find, there's a window called the Magna Series window. I forget the name of the place. There's a place in Bethlehem near the ballpark that, is the only one in our area that's a distributor for them. And, I think you're gonna find when you do your investigation that they may have, it's an aluminum window, it's not wood. That's the only thing we can't dictate on is fire-rated windows.
Okay.
But I think it's called the Magna Series Magna window, maybe like Magna 2000 or 3000, I forget. I can't remember the name. It used to be called Miller Surplus.
I remember.
That sold the window. They're the dealer for the area. I think them and Piscatello. but that may be the most economical way to meet the requirement of what they're telling you. I don't know, you have to get prices, we don't, it's been a few years, I don't know.
I looked up some prices of them. They're pretty high.
Yeah, they are a few, but I think you'll be shocked what these
Lot of
windows may
windows.
cost. They're a dramatic difference in price.
Yeah, I know. Some of them are like $1,500 just for the window without having it installed, and some of them are like $6,000.
Yeah.
So that's a big investment.
So Christine, these windows are 1/1 in the back?
I believe so.
So as
Yeah.
far as what we need to do is that really, it's just, you'll have to replace the windows with a
One of 'em.
fire-rated glass. It's not our jurisdiction to alter that. It's not because it's a historic district. That's a city code item
Code.
for anywhere in the city.
But we'd want them 1/1.
1/1 would be fine.
Like they are now.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
So it would,
Do they have to be wood windows, vinyl clad wood, or?
They
metal,
can't,
or
they won't meet,
can't.
they won't meet the
not-
fire
not
requirement.
fire.
Right, so whatever the fire requirement is for the windows is what?
So
Whatever the
it's-
city tells you to do, it really doesn't have any,
Has to have a UL rating for a 3/4 hour, a 45-minute, but they refer to it as a 3/4 hour, but 45-minute.
So there's really nothing for us to approve except maybe just to make sure when she replaces the windows, they're the same as,
They're the same size as the
same
opening.
size it's there,
Yeah.
which I'm assuming you would do.
Yeah.
so I.
Otherwise, it's more money.
Would code be looking, because it's a replacement of window that HDC says, go ahead and replace it?
Well,
Yeah, I
by
think we
nature, she
have
has to come here and we can approve it.
Right.
Yeah.
So we approve, basically, we should approve it then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll make the motion to approve it as submitted with the fire rate, windows that meet the fire rating.
Right.
With 1/1.
It's simple.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any comments from the public about meeting the fire requirements?
Rob Gautier, 36 North Third Street. I got hit by the same thing. 8 windows, they're mahogany windows, they're stained glass, original float windows, and I have to rip them all out. That's what they're telling me, replace them. So what's the point of being in a historic district if I can't maintain the historic view of my building?
Are they supposed to be fire rated?
Yeah, I got hit. Same thing.
Are they at
just
the-
came to me, and I just reviewed the inspection report. And originally, the building has been rented for 50 years, and it's been inspected for 30. 30 years ago, I worked with Terry, the fire chief at that time.
Sure.
But he understood that the challenge of, I'm just beside myself if they're telling me I have to rip out mahogany, original Victorian windows with stained glass to do this.
Is this the back, sir?
It's not it's the side of it's the south side of the building. It's not generally visible.
And it's not visible from the public right-of-way?
No.
And that's not even something we then can actually,
Charbel,
But
can you have the ability of
Christine
putting a
just,
window
Christine,
over top?
you just said that there was a screen or something that could be placed.
well, I mean, in the past, it was quite a while ago, it was interpreted with a metal frame, wire glass over an existing historic window was acceptable. I don't know that it is anymore.
I understand the concept of why, after the hotel fire, everybody's
Cramped, yeah.
hyper, attentive to different things. But the concept is anything within 10 foot of the fire escape, if there was a fire,
Oh, I understand
and
the
the windows
reason.
blow out, they prevent people from escaping or coming down from the building. I don't know if there's an appeal, is there an appeal process? I don't know. Could it go to
told
the state?
I have to go to the board, pay the $500 and appeal it. Yeah, so I'm just bringing it out there. I understand.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's
But-
get through her application. We understand you have a similar concern. As far as your application, we have a motion, we have a second. You have a comment on her windows? Okay.
I'm not sure of this, but I know there's an obscure clause in the IBC, I just looked it up. And for what it's worth, while the International Building Code regulates new construction, it defers to the International Existing Building Code for older structures. Chapter 12 of the IEBC allows building officials to grant historic waivers and variances permitting the use of alternative safety approaches so that the historic integrity isn't compromised by full modern code compliance. And I've used that, and my experience, with all due respect, is that a lot of building inspectors don't like that particular clause or don't use it. But I know it historically, which dates me, but there you have it. That was in the building code. And according to my phone, at least, it's still in the building code.
It is, and sometimes I don't know whether these are, two-family or three-family. When I look at the materials, it doesn't apply necessarily to one and two-family because we're looking at the commercial code, the existing building code versus the residential code.
This just refers to the international existing building code.
Yeah, and which is still in place.
Yep.
Yep, it is.
So there
there
may
is-
be a workaround is all I'm
And-
saying.
and you are
works
correct.
Probably for the man with historic stained glass windows, but less for the lady here who just has regular windows.
That may well be.
Yeah, these are very plain, simple windows.
But,
Expensive, though, here to
in
replace
in
them.
his behalf, you have to come back to the the codes director and say, listen, this is what I was told I have to do. This is what I'm presenting, and as long as the intent of what you're installing can make what's there safer, they have the right to, they can accept it.
That's where if you did
I-
a metal frame with wire glass, they might find that.
I can't remember what it was, but there's a film, you could even sometimes have the glass, I think they laminate something to the glass that meets a rating, but again, you'd have to do the legwork to find out what could be added to them to make them better than what they are. It might not meet their 45-minute, but one could argue that your house is, not even half a mile, quarter mile from the fire department, and that the city of Easton could hit any home within 2 minutes, that it takes X amount of minutes for something. You would have to present the case, but you'd have to say, okay, I don't want to do this because of the integrity of the building, but I'll do this, which makes the existing situation better. But again, it's up to whoever's, I no longer work for the city, so it would depend on the person, but most people, a lot of times, will take that into consideration, and it could be something you can argue. You could even try the same thing, but again, you have to present what it is.
So let's move on with Mrs. Graves.
Yes.
So we have a motion that the Historic Commission will approve that whatever code requires for your fire escape windows, we're fine with that. And do I have a second on that?
As long as it's a 1/1, as long as
It can be 1/1.
Right.
Okay.
I've seconded, yep.
We have a motion second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you and good
Thank
luck
you.
with the city.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paul, for bringing that up, because we fought about this for years in the historic real estate business.
Our next application is 346 Bushkill Street, proposal to replace missing mortar. Applicant 346 Bushkill Street LLC, Rochelle and Lou Delago. Welcome.
I'm Delago.
Okay.
This is your beautiful building, yes?
Right.
Yes.
Yes. One side of it. Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
So this structure is an attached three-story tan brick, dirty tan, gray.
Refractory
Yeah.
brick.
Residential building with a stone base and stoop, flat roof with projecting cornice with brackets, segmental arched openings, and a three-story bay. The building dates from the late 19th century and is Queen Anne in style. The existing brick is a Roman-style tan brick with thin mortar joints, and it's proposed to replace missing mortar. That would be standard, 6, which I don't have correct here. It's really hard for me to see from the photos where your mortar's missing. Is it on the front?
I did bring a photo for your review.
It's a little bit of a difficult brick to spot repoint due to the thin joints and environmental dirt that has built up on the facade. So, because it brings up the questions of like, what color do you make the mortar?
Well, the mortar is, it's a coarse textured mortar that does have some embedded dirt in it. It was originally a buff color. And it's missing in a few specific locations, but overall its integrity is sound and
Yeah.
intact. So what I did today is I actually went to the building and I did a sample like I do for all my projects to just demonstrate what could be done.
So you did a
I want-
mock-up?
Well, yeah, I did a mock-up and I just a quick mock-up and I wanted to show that to you if I could. This was a small mock-up. There's some missing, showing, you had visited the building many times.
Yeah.
So I did a quick mock-up. I made a textured cement similar in color, but then I modified it. The way I modified it is I use certain aqua tints to my mortar mix. I use these German products that are very effective and very archival. I use them in my work. I'll show you as well. This was the after on this mock-up. This was the before. So there was a section. The mortar is particularly missing on the lower section, right above the lintel, and easily pointable. And so that was the textured mortar mix. It was 2 parts cement, Portland, 1 part lime, 2 parts coarse sand. That gave me that result. Then followed with a cementatious binder and my color tints, which Charbel, showed these types of products, which are very effective. A little umber, a little bit of green, a little bit of white added to it, and I was able to simulate the color and the texture and harmonize. And that's what I'm proposing to do. Go around specifically.
So it's really at the base
It's at the
mostly?
base. There are a few specific areas here and there, but overall the integrity of the mortar is quite sound.
That's good because I looked at it, was like, I couldn't see that much that needed it.
It's a refractory brick. It's a high temperature brick, so the brick is quite intact.
And fairly hard. So I mean, typically, you might want to refer to Preservation Brief number 2, available online, put out by the National Park Service. It is a wonderful resource that talks about repointing mortar mixes. You've got a fairly hard brick, so having a little bit more Portland in it, it's probably okay, but you can read why high Portland cement is usually not recommended.
It becomes brittle.
You know, if you have small, soft brick, it can cause unbelievable problems. So I would recommend you read that. They talk also about mortar pigments as well that are long-lasting, that don't fade. So, you know, my recommendation really was just to follow the preservation brief, which is about as far we can get technically with you.
And that's what I was doing. In the end, it's, you know, there's a functionality, but there's an aesthetic aspect.
Right.
And I have to harmonize these.
You don't really want it to stand out. I mean, unless you plan,
You can see the way that I blended it.
you did a
in.
good
It's
job.
it's
But
indistinguishable.
unless you plan to clean the building at some point, then you've got a different, you know.
We're not really planning on a light pressure washing. That might come down the line, but the tints that I'm using with the binding agent in it are archival. So they won't fade or slough off or separate, and they do bind.
Yeah,
while
I'm
they
not
finish.
familiar with that particular approach, but, you know,
I'm a restorer. I've been doing this for 50 years in all
masonry.
aspects. Every aspect of, I have an 1830 house in Williams Township that is fully restored, authentically, very much intact. Done innumerable restoration projects on masonry, pre-Columbian art, all different types of historic artifacts in all mediums, not just in cementatious ones or clays or porcelains. So I'm quite familiar with the medium.
Christine, are you feeling okay with,
Well, I'd like you to read through the preservation briefs
I'd like to
because
see
it
what
is
they say.
very helpful, very informative, and I would, you know, would recommend following the advice in that document.
Where do you find that? I missed
National Park Service online. You just type in preservation brief number 2, it'll pop right up.
I have a question.
Yes,
Who is doing the work for you?
I'm doing it,
I see.
yeah.
Okay. So usually when we have people who do this work, they're certified in preservation. Does that mean that you are?
Well, I cover all different aspects of, I'm a pretty renowned restorer in the decorative arts. That covers many different areas of decoration, interior and exterior. And I'm quite familiar with the process of doing historic restoration.
I can only speak of the work he did on the interior. I mean, it was above average. When they renovated the structure a number of years ago, if it's the same level of
Quality? Okay.
craftsmanship,
It's-
I would assume,
We care about the
based on
neighborhood.
previous experience.
Yep. And
Excellent.
as I'm comfortable as long as you read through the document so that you catch anything that you might not have known about. And
Well, that's
obviously,
great.
you want to do the right thing.
Want us to follow up and send you some photos of before and after, or?
I mean, typically, we don't always see that.
No, but.
He could
it-
upload them to his file, though.
Could,
Yeah.
sure could. Yeah.
And were you satisfied with the photos that he showed you?
Yeah, I think in this case, you want to match your mortar, existing
Sure.
mortar
Yeah.
color as
Yeah.
best you can.
Excellent.
Keep it
So do I have a
indistinguishable
motion?
and long lasting.
Motion to approve as submitted.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Anything from the public about questioning the replacement of the mortar? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you for your
Thank you. Good
time. and
luck.
Thank you for coming to the meeting.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Who seconded that? I'm sorry.
I did.
You did.
Remember?
62 North Third Street, proposal to install window signage. Applicant Scott Kindred and Jared Vandercruz. Welcome.
Welcome, how you doing?
How are you today?
Very well, how you doing?
Good.
Thanks for your patience.
All right, no problem, thank you.
This structure is an attached three-story rusticated brownstone mixed-use building with a low-slope roof, stepped center parapet between stone posts with finials, round arched and segmentally arched windows and doors, and a second floor a bay or bow window. It's a little hard to tell because you got a lot of trees there. Building dates from the late 19th century and is Richardsonian Romanesque, potentially in style. The building has a high level of historic integrity. The proposal is to install vinyl window signage. The signage will read, "No separation, quality vintage garments since 2019" in white and a gold vinyl lettering. And the overall dimensions for the sign are 44 inches by 21.39. The lettering is a mix of script and serif styles. Our guidelines on signage would apply, and the proposed vinyl window signage is historically appropriate and meets our guidelines. Really have no comments other than that. I think it's quite a nicely conceived sign.
Do we have anything visibly?
Oh.
Yeah, it comes from a place, and I just wanted something that was more timeless, something that felt like
There you go.
Easton and could last. So I've actually sat here a few times for multiple
seen
different
this?
changes and brands and such work, but I think this one is one
And
to
this,
be proud about for sure.
Do you have an existing business already, sir?
I did. I did. I was for 6 years. I was on Northampton
Yeah,
Street.
I say you were
137.
down
Yeah,
like
okay.
119 or
37,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's right. Okay.
Yeah,
something,
so I was there
yeah.
for a little
Do
over
you
6 years.
participate in the vintage on Sunday? Were you there?
Yeah, I was there.
Okay.
Yeah, I was there.
Thought I saw you.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I was there. Yeah, I help out with a couple businesses
Thank you.
downtown. I'm actually a sponsored. I skate for Five and Dime as well, so I go hand in hand and do things with them as well, and a bunch of
Nice.
other
Nice.
things. in
Your
this
sign
thing,
looks
so-
very nice.
It's really, really elegant.
Yeah, there's a lot of thought put into it. and
Yeah.
Any questions from public or commissioners on the sign proposed? Do I have a motion on this?
I'll make the motion accepted as submitted.
Motion.
I'll second.
I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye. Thank you for investing in Easton.
Yes.
Thank
Can't
you so
wait.
much. I appreciate you for having me. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, 52 to 55 Center Square, proposal to paint facade and add signage. Applicant One Square Properties LLC, Christopher Green.
Thank you for your patience.
No
It's
problem.
a little warm
Hi.
in here. We don't usually have it
Learned
this
quite a
warm,
bit
so-
tonight. By the way, Christopher Green, this is Marissa Goriello. Marissa is the one whose business will be going into this location, so it is Marissa's business that we're speaking about. Cindy Green, who is our designer, unfortunately, is dealing with another client tonight. She is unfortunately not here, so apologies for that.
Alrighty, so this structure is a one-story brick-clad commercial building from the later 20th century, 1968 to 1970, with a flat roof, 3 storefronts and entries, and multi-light metal display windows. It has no historic elements and is not a contributing resource in the district. It is proposed to paint the facade and add signage. The proposed paint color is Gardener's Soil, which looks like a fairly dark green,
That would be correct, yes.
green-brown sort of. And then proposed signage will read Cece's House, and it was a little bit hard to read the lettering below. There's some smaller block lettering below. I couldn't.
It says Bakehouse and Curated Market.
Bakehouse and curated.
Bake Shop, sorry.
Bake,
I was
bake
going between the two.
and curated
Curated Market.
market. And the sign area is about a 7 by 10 foot area. Our guidelines on signage, our guidelines on exterior alterations, standard 9, and our local guidelines on painting, masonry. So we do have masonry here. However, it is modern. It is not historic. Our guidelines state the masonry of buildings constructed before the 20th century was often low-fired and porous, which led to the deterioration, sometimes led to the deterioration of exposed masonry elements. In some cases, these brick facades were painted, and you put in some selections of brick buildings that have been painted historically. They've been painted many, many decades ago. But we have, to paint historically unpainted brick is not appropriate as far as our guidelines go. And painting can trap moisture in a masonry wall, which can cause failure of the paint and spalling of the brick behind it. This building does not have historic masonry, and the brick used is a color blend of mid-20th century brick, which typically is harder than historic masonry. Painting brick of any date can lead to moisture issues if water infiltration occurs, but this building appears to have an appropriate metal coping to keep water out from the top, which should reduce this concern. Painting any brick is not easily reversed. It should be inquired if the owner of the building, if that's not you, I don't know, has agreed to its painting. The guidelines does not really address the painting of modern brick, nor does it recommend against it. The proposed sign is to be, it says a painted sign, so it should be clarified if it is to be painted on a panel of some sort, directly painted on the brick. There's no electrification or illumination proposed. If it's to be painted on a panel, again, what is that material and thickness, and how will it be attached to the building?
Absolutely. So first off, completely appreciate the elements around a historic brick. As an owner of someone on 128 North 3rd with historic brick, I would never dream of painting historic brick. This is purely an aesthetic approach. Regarding the signage, the intent was to use a local muralist to do the painting,
Right on the brick.
Right on this. That is correct. Our intent here, you did bring up something else, my apologies. I have spoken with the owner of the building.
Okay,
Owner of the building, yep, and the owner of the building has asked a couple of things. Number one, treat this as though you bought this. Please do what you want with this building. Number two, please make this building look better than it does today. So my commitment to the owner and to the community is that to
migrate from the cacophony of colors and textures that we have on the building today, that we will make this into a very aesthetically pleasing building. But to answer your question specifically on signage, the intent is to hire a local muralist to create the signage that you see here within that 7x10. We have not applied for zoning for the signage, specifically because I wanted to come here first with the approval here before going the zoning approval process.
Will the other, I think I forgot to ask this, the other signs, there is one that's a blade sign with a bracket, that'll come off, I would assume.
Actually, all of that is already off.
Okay.
Yep, yes.
Do you intend to put any light fixtures up? Any lighting considered?
Yes, actually, I'm realizing now we did not put that into our proposal, but if you look at this, currently today, there are 2 gooseneck lights that come out over. Please note that those 2 goosenecks are at differing heights.
Yeah.
Yes.
We actually know that,
Yes.
as I remember
Drives us crazy.
requesting that to be different.
So if I could amend the proposal, I would like to ask that we are more in line with what you see in the proposal, which is we would have, 3 goosenecks all at the same height, okay?
They would all look the same?
They would all look the same color, that's correct, and at the same height.
Are they, any of them where they are now?
Up,
I could pull up a street view.
yeah, if you could pull up the street, view, I would assume the one over the Chow is close to where that one would be. We'd probably want to pull the Queso one down and then a third one from a height perspective. There are 2 other things also I did want to call out. If you look at the rendering and the proposal,
Okay, hold on.
there are 2, again, using software that we have access to, there are 2 details that I do want to have noted so that there is not any confusion. If you look to the door on the furthest left, you will see what appears to be a line. That line is being caused in the software by the currently painted brick facade. That is the paint from Dunkin' Donuts. Our intent is to not overpaint that color, okay? So we are not covering that cream-colored combination from Dunkin' Donuts. So it would literally be just to the, yes, you could see that there. We are not repainting that. We are only going from what is non-painted over. And the next thing is, if you look on the furthest right of the proposal, you will see what appears to be a door. There is a door back there. It is on a 45-degree angle. That is actually a window. So just to be clear, we are not proposing to put a door in that place of the window. There's an existing door. It's just the software couldn't capture that door on an angle.
Wait a
okay?
minute, you're going to keep the door or you're not?
The door is staying there. It's just, when you look at this rendering.
Software that we
Yeah,
use.
the
I gotcha.
software, it makes it look like the door's facing.
Yeah, I see it.
It's on an angle.
Yeah, I
So
know.
that was just a misnomer. So just to be clear, our intent is to not swap door with window. The door stays where it is
Got
on
it.
a 45-degree angle.
Which door will be your primary entrance to the store?
I mean, with customers, you can't force them what door to go in. I assume they'd be going through the corner door because it's more grand. But we were hoping maybe for flow-wise, the Chow or the Queso door.
Right. My
The
only
middle.
question there is, should you have an additional light over that side of the end of the building? You seem to have all the lighting, gooseneck all to the left. But if it's nighttime in the winter, you may want to have a light over on that
There's
side as well.
actually a light
Recessed.
underneath it.
Yeah.
There is an existing, there is an existing light over there, which is
Yeah.
not captured in this.
Do you think you would put some signage on the door, on the glass doors? Did you think about that?
A little bit. I do like to just keep things clean, though.
Mhm.
I assume if I did, it would be the hours.
Mm.
I just haven't gotten that far, and since we're doing the renovation, it's figuring out where that would be placed. But for the most part, I like to keep all doors and windows clean.
Okay.
And will you be adding window boxes? The rendering.
Oh, well, we were debating about that because that's a whole other maintenance.
You could have it in your application, and if you don't put them up,
Okay.
But at least it's part of your approval if you decide to want to do that.
Can I modify our ask then to include window boxes? And if therefore approved, we can make that choice at a later date?
I don't see any reason
I
why
don't see
you
why
can't.
not.
That
You
would be
want to just
helpful.
explain
It's a
where do you
good
think?
idea, thank you.
As long as you explain where you think you're going to put them,
Under the windows?
okay? Just.
Just as a rendering.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
as rendering demonstrates.
Another question, do you plan on having outdoor seating?
Personally, I would like to do that, but that's like a couple phases down. I don't know when we're gonna open, so if it's cold out, I'm not really worried about it this year. But like both Chow and Queso had seating, it would be nice. Yes.
Okay.
Do we have any comments from commissioners on this? Do we?
I just have another question. Again, you are not going to touch the Dunkin' Donuts.
No, no, no.
And you are not going to touch the higher level at all.
not at all.
Just that facade. Okay, that's it.
Does the, on your rendering, I see the very edge, it looks like you see some of the old brick. What am I looking at on the very far edge of your rendering?
On the far left?
Far right.
Right.
And does the color wrap the corner on Church?
Ideally, I would like to, only because Church Street right now is, honestly, it's a mess.
Please.
And so any way to improve the aesthetics on Church Street,
I personally would like you to wrap
Please,
the
yes.
corner, so whatever is the brick that you're painting, you're wrapping the corner, so it doesn't look like it's just the facade, and walking up Third Street, you don't see this.
then you have
Ugly-
my
ugly
commitment to
brick.
wrap around.
Yeah,
to
actually,
Church
that's
Street.
a good point I should have
Really
picked
good
up on.
point, yeah.
That should wrap in any of this
And
type of brick is painted.
That, you know better, than that street is used so much now.
It is.
It is a heavy traffic from experience.
Just
Yeah.
from working in there now and watching.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
And and maybe you'll inspire others to do something on Church Street if you go down Church Street a little.
Oh, Diane, you have no idea. This is just the beginning.
I
But
don't
to your point, Chris, getting back to your question on, is the owner aware of this? The owner is absolutely aware of this. We've presented this, and
Great.
my commitment to the owner is, I intend to make this building, which is honestly in his portfolio of buildings, probably the redheaded stepchild that everyone forgot about. We intend to make this one of the shining stars within downtown Easton.
And my personal comments on it is I never cared for the brick. So the fact that it is not historic, non-contributing, I think that this has always been a difficult space because of the aesthetics. So I think what you're doing is going to be very exciting, should the board choose to approve it.
Clay, I appreciate that, but I also did want to reiterate that I, owner of a historic brick building, clearly understand the importance of maintaining historic brick to its perfection, but I appreciate your
Now,
commentary.
understand, if you came with your house and wanted to paint it.
Yeah, that would not happen.
Yeah,
Different story. Do we have comments from the public in regard to this proposal? Do we have a motion
I just have
or comments?
one question, though. Is the rear of the building the same brick that's on?
It is.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to make a motion to approve as submitted with the planters, with the adjustment of the gooseneck lights, and the lights will all be consistently the same and at the same height, and that the painting will continue around to Church Street. Did I miss anything?
Yes, they should include, you should put your hours.
Oh, and
If you don't want to put them up, you don't have to, but I would include it in the submittal, at least on
case
two
you want
doors.
to. I'll add that,
Thank you.
if the business person would like to add their hours, they can add it to the door.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay.
I have a motion, I have a second, all those in
Darrell.
favor? Aye.
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 Abstain.
We have one
Why is
abstention,
that?
and we have 5 yes votes.
Thank you very
Well,
much.
Congratulations, thank you for what's going to be a big investment in downtown. We look forward to seeing the changes.
Dressing up the quadrant.
There you
Yeah,
go.
baby.
There you go.
Good job. Excited.
Thank you very much
Love
for
your
your time tonight.
cookies.
Okay. 36 South Fifth Street, proposal to replace a roof, Scott Quality Products. Is anybody here from Scott Quality Products for the replacement of a roof?
Maud, that's Maud.
Maud, is this a,
Usually,
This is a 3-tab to slate line. I mean, it looks like just an ordinary
it's a
3-tab.
standard slate line? Is this something that, since it's our standard roof replacement?
I
we
would
can-
like to say that we could review this. I mean, as far as I know, it's both sides because he owns or they own. I don't understand the relationship, but they're the same owners.
Right.
So my assumption, which we would need to put in here, is that both sides are done.
agree.
Okay.
Would you like a motion?
Mhm.
Anybody? I keep making them.
So that would
Okay, I'll
be
make a motion to approve as submitted, just to make sure that they clarify that both sides would be
So it's 36 and 38.
36 and 38, and both sides would consistently be the same.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion passes. Thank you. 119 Northampton Street, proposal to replace siding, windows, 2 doors. Owner applicant, Broad Red LLC, Liz Palmer. Hi, Liz. Thank you.
Aye.
Hi,
We're
Liz.
almost down to the end. Sorry, you're number 11
Sorry.
of 12, but
No, right, no, it's fine because there's less people. And it's nice to see some familiar
Nice
faces.
to see you.
All right, so so this is at the rear of the building. This structure is a 3-story, 5-bay attached, mixed-use building with a flat roof, deep projecting cornice with large brackets, panels and dentils, brick pilasters, and an altered storefront with paneled side band and aluminum framing. The building dates from the mid to late 19th century and is Italianate in style. In 1885, the building housed a hardware store. The rear of the building includes an ad hoc arrangement of additions. The proposed work is on the 2nd and 3rd floors at the rear. The proposal is to replace siding, windows, and 2 doors. That would be, the proposal is replacing the light blue vinyl siding with the same. 2 would be replacing the top 3 wood windows, 2/2 with vinyl windows. And then replacing 3 bottom windows with fire-rated windows with a 1/1 appearance.
Which I'm gonna need some clarification on something, because as the conversation continued about windows, there's a
Yeah.
question about that.
And then replacing the 2 fire exit doors with fire-rated steel doors with 6-panel configuration. Standard 9 and our local guidelines for siding, windows, and doors. Following recommendations I would like to make to have your work meet our historic guidelines is to replace the vinyl siding with smooth fiber cement lap siding. I know that's more expensive, but it also enhances the fire rating of your exterior wall, in addition to meeting our guidelines. Our guidelines do not approve the vinyl siding. So, that's something to review. Replacing the 3 wood windows with aluminum clad windows, matching the 2/2 would be a recommendation for the upper windows rather than vinyl. Again, that's not an approved window for the district. We don't usually talk manufacturers, but I'm going to throw out a possible one just because we know it's more reasonably priced, is Harvey's Majestic aluminum clad wood window is one to look at, but there are others. The proposed fire-rated steel 1/1 single-hung windows are appropriate in this location and for meeting the fire code. And the proposed fire-rated steel doors with 6-panel configuration, again, it's fire code, and it is also something that is quite distant from view. So I think in this case would be appropriate. We don't typically approve steel doors, but. So, you have some questions on the windows.
I do. The top windows are wood, and due to codes, obviously, we have to replace with fire rated.
Looks
because
like
we're
it,
right
doesn't
beh-
it?
Yep, so those all have to be done with 3/4 hour fire rated windows.
Yeah.
Totally got that. The door on the right is already a fire rated door, but we're gonna be replacing it anyway. A lot of this, the majority of this work, not only is it due to fire code, but it's also because our amazing tenant, the Whiff Shop, who did a gorgeous job with their renovation, is having a leak issue,
Oh.
which we feel is coming from these windows that have just been bondoed, and I don't know what the previous owner did or didn't do, but they're literally rotting and falling apart. And our hope is by removing the siding, replacing the windows, they're being installed the correct way, that we are gonna be able to hopefully eliminate those leaks that are down in our current
You might
commercial
wanna
space.
also check your roof flashing.
Yep, Justin Bird, Bird's Eye View Roofing, he's gonna be doing all the work for all of this. He's very familiar with the building. I'm sure some of you are familiar with his work. Gutters, flashing, all of it, all, the whole windows, all of that, yeah. If, I don't know if you can flip through, this, you can barely see this
This is true.
from Church Street. And you can not see it at all, this particular angle, from the corner of Larry Holmes and Church, looking at the back of the building. So my question is why we couldn't do the vinyl siding when you can't see this. You can flip through the pictures. I have, views,
You can see it, but it's hard to see what you're looking at.
especially with the
Okay.
pergola up
Right.
on the patio.
I mean, you did submit a lot of photos, which is appreciated. It really is.
I
But-
tried to get all the angles. I tried to get,
If you look at this one, I mean, it is visible.
Very little.
And, some of this has to do with the board's setting precedent, so it's up to them
I
to,
saw this, I was,
yeah, that's,
Talking about here?
that's from Church, right there.
yep, right there.
That piece, right?
Piece
Yeah.
right there, so from the street,
And that's pretty much the only
not gonna
view.
see the lower level, you
Yeah.
see a little bit of the upper, but you gotta look through.
Yeah.
If you're over at where the pergola is, you're not gonna see it at all. But
No, you can't see it at all from if you're standing behind the pergola. And that part
yeah,
is not being touched. So it's tucked back to the left there,
Yeah,
and it's parallel with Church.
that's a great question. When the whole thing is not in just a small piece of it.
Yeah, this is.
This is a tough one. It's a good question, Liz.
Christine,
I
how
was
did we
looking at
apply?
it also as the fire rating
yeah.
capacity of the fiber cement is much, 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 much higher. So I don't know what the rating is, but it's,
Is this Brett's building?
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. Is there a reason that he would not want to do the suggestion about smooth fiber cement lap siding?
That's a question I would have to ask him directly. Having worked with him for as many years as I have, it's going to come down to numbers.
Cost is always a
Cost
concern.
is always a concern, and because we are replacing so many windows, which I'm going to look into your,
The Magna, yeah.
of that, but because there are so many windows to do, if we could save and do the siding because it's such a non-visible piece, that would be wonderful.
Christine, how did we apply the gentleman who did the building that's, I think, up from them, but his wall was facing,
It was facing east,
right?
but you could see,
Could see
see
it.
it.
You could really see it.
Any more or less than this?
A lot more.
I
I'd
don't,
have to look at photos again. I might say more. I might agree with you, Diane. It's still, you still could argue it wasn't highly visible. That's my concern is we'd then have an
Yeah.
issue with
Liz, I'm more concerned about the windows. I don't, judging on the photos that I saw, none of the windows look like they wouldn't have to be fire rated.
It looks like all of them need to go.
All of those windows.
The only reason why, when the conversation was happening before, you were talking about wired windows. And the windows on the bottom those two right there,
Yeah.
and then there's two more to the left of those. Those are all wired windows.
But you're not replacing them.
Well, no, we're willing to replace them if they're not okay.
Well, if they're wired, then
They're
they already meet the
there.
requirement.
If if they're there, are they grandfathered in? They wouldn't meet it now.
No, but I thought she was replacing them because they're trying to resolve a leak problem. So if you're replacing them, they would have to meet the requirement of
Right.
what a new window would.
Correct.
If you're not changing them, then you don't have to touch them.
We don't, it kind of depends, because we've already worked around these windows once and we're not sure. So that's why we want to do the top ones, fire
And then
rated,
see?
And then see.
But that's, okay. But are you asking for approval on the lower windows?
Yes, I
You
would
are.
like to ask for
So
approval in case we have
you
to
find
replace them.
out and then, okay.
But we couldn't approve them as vinyl.
Right.
That we'd have to approve them all as fire rated windows.
That's understandable.
Right.
I'm
Right.
not
But
putting,
if
I'm
they-
not
if
putting
they're-
any windows.
If they're
in
already
any of my
wired,
buildings.
if they're already wired, you already meet the requirement. So we can't make the requirement any less than what it is.
So I was unclear, even when talking with contractors, they couldn't really be clear to me, like if they could tell me that window, just because it's wired, how, is it a 3/4 hour fire rated window?
Well, if you're saying it's vinyl, it's not.
Okay.
Because the vinyl will melt way before the glass breaks. I don't know how you got it. Again, you said the previous owner. I don't know where they got wire glass into it, but it's existing, so it's there. But if you're going to replace it, it has to be the 3/4 hour.
Understood.
The only thing I think that's really the tough one, and I don't know. I mean, if it can be seen, technically it can be seen. I mean.
That's correct. And I like Christine's replace vinyl siding with smooth fiber cement lap siding. I mean, we should not
I don't
start new
think-
precedents. Let's do the lap siding.
And we did do it, even though there was a little more exposure at the neighbors.
But it still wasn't highly visible. So, and I know that was not an easy
I remember.
approval. So, I mean, it also, for the owner it is a better, more higher fire resistance, which is safer. You would.
I appreciate the recommendation. I do.
Yeah.
I appreciate that I can go back with the recommendation and say
Yes.
this is how we should
It's
do it.
not
So-
that
Well, it
big of
hasn't
an
been done
area.
yet, but we're
Yeah.
headed that way.
So, any further comments from commissioners or the public on this application? Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion
like
that the 5 windows to be replaced meet the required fire rating. As long as the window meets the fire rating, we will approve the window because there's nothing in, there's no window that's made that meets the historic guidelines that's fire rated. So we would accept the windows that need, or that you are replacing will be fire rated. And the siding would have to meet the smooth finish, not the brand Hardyback, but a Hardyback style, a hardboard siding, but smooth.
Okay.
If it comes in with texture, it's happened, other people, they had to remove it. It has to be smooth.
I will let Justin know.
That's very important because most places usually have the textured.
Okay.
If you don't specify smooth, it comes in texture.
Like
So
a
we've
wood
had-
grain, like a fake wood
Right,
grain.
it looks like a fake wood.
Like-
Yeah,
Right,
so
and we don't want that.
No.
Yeah, like your neighbor glazed they came in grainy and they had to pull it off.
Got it.
So, good.
And the steel doors as
Steel door
proposed.
Yeah, to
Yeah,
meet the proper fire rating, and you'll have
In
closers
kind.
on them that pull them closed, and you'll have panic
Self-closing
hardware,
and
yep.
Bars, yeah, crash bars, correct.
I'll second.
We have a motion, we have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thanks, Liz.
Our last applicant for the evening, 36 North Third Street, proposal to repoint north side brick. Robert Gauther.
Hi.
Welcome. Thank you for your patience.
Oh, no worries. This was very informative. You guys are pretty impressive on your knowledge and historical stuff, so.
All right, so some more pointing.
Yes. Yes, and it's sort of the same thing. You can only see it if you go down Bank Street and you, by the new building and you look back. And
You can see it.
But you
yeah,
can see it.
I tried to outline that in the picture
You did.
that I sent.
You did a good job.
Thanks.
And I think I did in my little write-up, just an older view from 2019, I think. So did you do some of this pointing, or did somebody do it for you?
Yes and yes.
Yeah.
So I've been working on I've owned the building since 1995, and I've been working on it for 30 years. I know every aspect of the building and crawled all over it. The challenges came up recently with the restaurant that they put in the bottom. We're having effervescence, and I've sealed and had Justin come in and done everything I can possibly do, and the only thing left is that north side brick pointing, and I need to get that pointed because if it doesn't get pointed soon, I'm worried about the structure of the building. So, and I spoke with James about it, and he agreed with me that those are one of the important things to do. So it's all about, the color's the same as that we had, and I consulted with a company down in just north of Philly, Limeworks. Yeah, so I went with them, talked to them, explained everything, and that's what we're following.
So what is there, is that Limeworks?
The part that was partially done up there is Limeworks, yes.
I mean, my only comment was it looks like you're really, really wide on your joint. And just wondering.
We're not making the joints wider, it's just they're so deteriorated.
Oh my gosh.
I have to emphasize, I've been looking at it and I'm monitoring, and this thing I have to do. From the interior view into the bottom.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking is, I've been dealing with moisture in the basement, and I have these heavy dehumidifiers, and I think the water's coming through the brick all the way down into the basement and effervescing out. I've tried everything I can on this, and now I'm sealing the crap, out of everything I can on top of the building.
Yeah, my only concern was I thought that was done, and it was done with Portland, and was very concerned about that.
No Portland.
Okay.
It's all lime-based, and that's all I've done for the last 10 years.
Which is historically appropriate. Getting this repointed is correct. You need to do it. And expensive. Would love to have you read through Preservation Brief number 2 if you haven't.
I have. A couple other articles and stuff. Like I said, I'm pretty anal on my research and stuff, and I'm always fighting with the inspectors and contractors and trying to do it, because I try and restore everything the best I can.
Yeah.
So.
Because it's pretty white and bright, so that was,
Understood.
I mean, it will weather in time, and it is, again, important to do it. If you're able to make the joints appear a little less
I'll try.
fat.
Yeah.
I mean, because you don't want it to go over the faces.
It's not going over the faces.
Yeah.
It's, like I said, it's
just so
bricks are
deteriorated.
worn.
Yep.
So that's why I said I really, I'm pushing to get it done, because I have the means right now, and I want wild environment and everything I can do. I'm trying to get it done as quickly as possible.
Yeah. What is that image? Is that?
Oh, that's just some of the existing, the existing mortar in the back.
Because I was trying to figure out where the window was. Looks like a window?
No, yeah, that's just a different part of the building.
Oh, okay. Well, it's the correct type of mortar. It really is a matter of, would have suggested a color a little bit less white, but.
It's the original color, the best I could match.
That's very possible it is. It's originally it was a lot smaller because the brick weren't torn away.
Will you be doing the repointing? Or
I am in, Esco Band is the contractor. It'll be doing most of the work, but I'm doing some of it.
Did you work with, did Rob Wozniak do the front porch on your building, on your steps?
That was before my time.
Oh,
They did it. Will be the next project that I'm budgeting for, to redo a lot of the brownstone in the front. I did redo all the windows in the front, and they're all mahogany, and you can go like this, and you can go like this, and you can go up and down. They all moved it. But that's why I said regarding the window replacement, it's going to cost me 20 to 30 grand to replace those windows.
I think you have a good argument to go to the Code Board of Appeals.
Yeah, I hope so. But I understand the reason, the safety. It's just, it is what it is.
How many units?
Three residential, one commercial, two commercials in the basement and the first floor.
Yeah, so the existing building code would apply, the Chapter 12, Mr. Felder brought up. would
Yeah, those
apply.
windows haven't changed. Matter of fact, we're just in the process of restoring one of them. So that if I have to replace it, and we found out those windows are all mahogany. And then a couple of them are stained glass as well as the original float glass.
I mean, I didn't do the description, but it's one of those gorgeous
It is,
brownstones.
I know,
and he's maintained the building over the years. He's
Straub
paid attention
Pharmacy.
to details inside of it too.
Yeah, the best story is on the third floor was my office, and I was redoing the electrical, and they came in, and they were cutting through wood. So we ripped off one corner. Turns out the whole room was American chestnut, and they painted it. So it took me 3 to 4 years to remove all the drywall, strip all the paint off, and restore it. But I couldn't replace all the missing. I couldn't find American chestnut, but it's. I think James has been in it. Yeah, he's seen it. It's gorgeous, but it's all wood, ceiling, walls, all frame and panel.
I have some extra chestnut in my basement from my home, so if you need any, call me. Seriously.
Really? I will.
So do we have any other comments on this application for the work being proposed? If not, do I have a motion?
Are they cleaning after they repoint this? Are they coming back and brushing this or on the brick?
They're cleaning off the brick, yes. And we checked with them, and they don't recommend any type of coating on it. I was checking. It says it'll just, as
That's
you know.
correct. Don't do it.
No, it doesn't. And then the painting, as you said, I have not seen a paint last on concrete and I've tried everything, concrete and everything else.
Okay, so do we have a motion?
Christine, so in regards to the mortar, just to follow up, so I don't see, I can't see a close-up photo, but it appears this project was already started. You had already started this project. Is that how it got you here?
Yeah, we were working in the area. We didn't think it was, it's not visible from the Bank Street if you go behind the building, but the inspector went way down the street and looked at it, and so he said you got to cease and desist. So we're still working, but working on the areas that aren't visible from Bank Street. So I outlined the areas. And
I'm just thinking, how did we handle 6th and Ferry?
6th and Ferry.
I think it was
That was
in that one they had,
Maud's property. They
Yeah.
cut the mortar, they cut the brick out really wide.
right.
Yeah.
In his case, he's saying he's not cutting it wide, but he's saying the bricks are deteriorated.
Yeah, and it is wide. That's the problem.
Right.
I mean, so you've not gone in and damaged the brick, which is what we had at a different property.
Is there removal, are you removing anything that's in there now? Is anything being removed from the existing mortar?
yes, we are. You need to remove the loose mortar in order to give it, and deep enough in order to get them.
And what are they using to remove the mortar?
Some
A
just
tuck-
grinding, a right angle grinding.
Right.
Yeah,
With one of those mortar
Yeah.
blades?
Yeah.
And you're not widening.
No, it was
the joint with
emphasized
that.
we're not mining. I want to
Yeah.
leave the original brick. I like the original brick.
Oh, yeah.
I found a bunch of it and then used it in the basement when we were modeling some of the basement, so.
Christine, you didn't see the brick, and you're saying it's not accessible. Like
No,
to
no,
get
no.
to that area,
I mean, directly, if you're directly behind, you don't see it. But if you go down a little bit on Bank, you can see it.
Yeah, if right behind the building, you can't see it because if this is the building, it's the old style. This building comes here and goes like this. So if to see it, you'd have to walk around here on the neighbor's property and look up to see it.
Right.
But you
Or otherwise,
can-
you go down, if this is Bank Street, you go way down here,
And
right
then you
behind a
see
new
it.
building, and look over. That's what that picture
you-
was,
you
right there.
Okay.
And it's zoomed in, so. it's-
And the back was already done too, as well? The
Yeah,
back
that was
already
done years ago, yeah. I did that, yeah.
I mean, this is, Google Street View really tells you what you can see. You can see it.
Right, but there's now a building there.
Right.
No, you can see it. You can see it from Bank Street.
Okay.
That's the view from Bank
That's-
Street.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I've seen
the
it.
zoomed-in view from Bank Street. If you're standing behind, on Bank Street on the alley,
You can see it.
I mean, the neighbors.
I've seen it.
Right, well, they still have to do it.
Oh, yeah. We're looking for a proposal?
Yeah, I'm looking for a motion.
Motion?
Yeah, I'm gonna make a motion to approve as submitted.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good luck with the
Good luck.
continuation of your work.
Thank you. Can I ask a couple questions?
I think so.
That building, the windows, the back of the street faces Bank Street.
Your building.
Yes.
Okay.
What if I move the fire, I'm looking at all, what if I move the fire escape? I would need you to approve that. So I move the fire escape so it's away from, 10 feet away from the windows. I have to figure out, I have to understand what 10 feet is, if it's possible. So I'd move the fire escape so it wouldn't be along the windows, and then come back and go down. But I'd have to change some of the whole staircase in the back in order to do that, which means you'd all have to approve it because it's seen.
Yeah, if we could see it.
You can see it.
Yeah.
There's no way around that. You can't, so the question is that something you've considered in the past?
We have.
Okay, so, because
In
I
other
don't know
words,
how to make it look old.
Well, no, I mean, with it, it's, typically a fire escape is a fire escape, steel, black, and, we've approved new ones.
Right,
Um,
so to do the new ones, because you're replacing them and putting them in a new location, you'd have to submit plans
Of course.
on what you're doing.
And structurally,
Right.
Oh, I know,
and
I
then-
have to do the whole, full gamut, there's no question about it. Just from just an idea perspective, I'm trying to look at all possibilities. Because I really don't want to replace, I really don't want to replace those windows.
And you would do them in metal or wood?
The what, fire escape?
Yeah,
You would use the same fire escape.
No, it would be
oh,
completely
it would
replaced.
have to be a new.
Brand
fire-
new, it would have to be a brand new metal and
So
everything.
you're, so if I got this right, you want to move the fireplace so you don't have to replace the windows?
Exactly, I'm looking at all possibilities.
Well, I mean, I think for 500,
Argue with
which is
that?
a lot
That's your
cheaper,
place.
I would try the, going to the code.
Oh,
Board of Appeals.
I'm gonna pursue that option,
And
but,
then if that's a no-go,
yeah.
Then we won't see you. But if it's a
Then-
go, we will see you.
Well, you'll see me sooner or later, so, again, for other things, so.
Thanks again for
All
your
right, thank
investment
you.
in this building. It's a beautiful property.
Absolutely.
Thank you all, you're working great, thank you.
I would recommend talking to one of the glass companies and see if there's something they can do to laminate the existing glass you have. Not a tint, but
No, I understand what you're saying.
I don't know why I think someone one time brought something that 3M made a product that could be laminated, but you have old windows, but there may be a product out there. I'm just saying, maybe a glass company may have a product for you, I don't know.
or, see if you can do a metal frame over the windows with a fire-rated glass in it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go Google it, I mean, it's amazing what you find, you can Google now
Mm-hmm.
that people come up with solutions, but I appreciate the.
I think there's
input.
shutters too that we had one person one time propose shutters for windows. I think that they're called fire-rated shutters. They're triggered by temperature and they drop in front of a window, and that would prevent anything from going out
That's cool.
and not impeding the fire escape. I don't know how much they cost, but
Well,
depends on the size of the window, I guess.
I did find on the windows, there were old shutter hinges. I was trying to research that at some point, but who knows? Maybe I could automate the old traditional shutters to close by a mechanical means.
Are they called fire curtains, or is it? Fire shutter. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I don't,
Everything's expensive. It doesn't matter. When you get with an old building, I don't care what it is, the costs are through the roof.
Yeah, you just
So.
have to pick which is the least
Least pain.
painful.
Sometimes. The problem I have is some of the least painful ones are good in the short term. But I find with a lot of materials, like you were talking at the beginning with a mural, I don't know anything that stands on concrete. And that was a question I was gonna.
That's why I was,
It always
biggest
comes off.
concern was maintenance.
Yeah, because, there was a second question, and I don't want to keep you in it. There's concrete in the back, and I'm trying to tone it down.
Back of your place?
Yes, there's, the old concrete and stuff that they did, is, staining or this and that or anything? Is there any colors that I should do, I should pick from? And then would I have to have those approved?
No, we don't, well, I mean,
Concrete, just concrete, not anything.
it like patio, walkway, or is it vertical?
Curbs, walkway, there's a big section that's in the back of the building that's, it's concrete block.
Ah. Oh, can you see it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was, it's newer than the building, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah. In the 50s,
Concrete
Strops
block,
Pharmacy,
then-
when they
Right.
bought the building,
Right.
they closed the, the little side thing that comes on the
Yeah.
property, I don't know what you call them. And they
Grocer
box it in.
alley, the
Yeah.
grocer alley sort of thing?
Yeah, and they put these giant I-beams through the building and lifted up the brick walls and all this stuff. Oh, it's been an expensive project, but anyway, so that when I'm trying to make it, tone it down, I want it to look old.
We've had concrete walls in downtown that Rob Wozniak has a solid silicate that he applies.
Yeah, it's a silica paint.
and it
Potassium
basically
silicate?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It doesn't peel, it doesn't.
Do I need
bonds.
approval, is the question, to paint it?
We might need to know where it is and.
Probably
Oh, it's very visible. I
Yeah.
mean,
very,
so-
very, it's very
Bring it-
visible.
I think you
Yeah,
should bring
I
it.
You need
would- I would
approval?
bring it.
Okay, that's all I needed to know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just so we know the product's right.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
it would
then
be
you
the,
can decide
probably the
color.
best thing is the potassium silicate, is just have to keep recoding those.
Yeah.
They're good about 3 to 5 years, then you gotta recode them.
Yeah, it doesn't match the front of your building, the back.
No, no, it doesn't.
Doesn't even look like
It's-
it,
The front of the building's brownstone, and
Yeah,
that's a $500,000 job,
That's a stunning, yeah.
at least, so.
Okay. we
Beautiful
appreciate,
building,
your
thank you.
time and
Thank you.
being
Thank you very
patient,
much.
Being last on our list. Old business, do we have any old business,
Hmm.
Christine?
I have one item. So 125 Spring Garden Street was a redevelopment project. They had started a little roof over their stoop, and I was sort of in charge of
Yes.
working with them.
Right.
So they've come back with a different design. It's a shed roof design, and Clay, you're the one who suggested it.
I remember.
Can I approve that without them coming back to you? It's a different design.
Is it down far enough and it's not like
I
6
think
feet
so,
away?
yeah, I mean, I've had them redo it, the drawings a couple times, but I didn't feel right without having some input from you, because it's different.
I mean, in theory, should come back. I mean, did they submit it, or they already submitted it?
Is it completely different?
Completely different.
Oh, I think it needs to come back.
I think we should see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I forgot it last month, so,
As far as violations, last month we talked about the community bank or whatever the orange bank sign was that they put up without our approval.
Sorry, they submitted a couple ideas to me, just to see what my thoughts were, and I'm sorry, I was on vacation and forgot it.
Do you want to just circulate those to us?
I
so
will.
we can look at
That would be
them?
great.
That would be good. I don't know if there's any other violations we were following up on. Do we have?
I think at the last meeting, I missed June, but Monty was going to replace the sign on Sixth Street. Is that correct?
Yeah, he turned it off and was going to replace it.
I thought he replaced it, or I didn't check. It wasn't, it's already replaced, isn't it? Okay.
If it
never mind.
was, he was replacing it, I heard, with what we approved, not what
Right.
they put up.
That's right.
Any other violations? Do we have any members of the public that would like to make any comments? I thought so.
You had to wait a long
I
time.
figure you waited a long time, that we'll give you your
I'll give you your,
your
we'll
5
give you the
minutes.
microphone.
I appreciate all of you waiting for me. I'm Paul Felder, as you know, and I think many of you, maybe not all of you, are aware that I'm part of a new organization that has formed as of this winter and spring, called Preservation Easton. And for those of us who have been around in Easton for going on a half century or so, Back in the day, there was a historic preservation organization called Historic Easton, which was responsible, in my view, for a lot of really wonderful things that happened in the city. And for a variety of reasons, including aging out and death, that organization doesn't exist anymore. So several Easton citizens, including myself, got together, and we have reframed Historic Easton as Easton Preservation. It's a 501c3 nonprofit with a mission really to advocate for historic preservation in the city and also responsible development. It's by no means an anti-development organization. And it's citywide in scope, and we understand that, of course, your scope geographically is much more limited. But I'm here tonight, firstly, to introduce the organization, a couple of people from it. Brett Weber, one of the founders. Cody Harding is our legal consultant. And we've broken the organization, which now has going on towards 100 members. We've broken it into various committees, and I represent the Design Review Committee. And we are specifically charging ourselves with looking at proposals that would affect primarily historic buildings that are threatened, of which there are any number that I can name, or historic buildings that may be threatened in the future, or historic buildings such as the ones that you review or that are in the downtown that are subject to your review. And what I'm asking tonight is for the opportunity to see if there are ways that we can work with you, that we can support you. We have a fair amount of manpower. Just as an example, Christine doesn't always have the opportunity to go out and photograph buildings that are applying for things. We feel we can do that. We have some expertise on our committee in our organization that is probably going to be prepared to come and talk at your meetings and give you our input, maybe make presentations, I don't know. But I would like to be able to start by perhaps either getting your permission or Christine's permission to meet with her and talk about ways that we can collaborate with you. I should point out that we have liaisons to various groups in the community, Chelsea being one of them. Chelsea's going to be our liaison to Lafayette College. We're working with Crystal Rose as our liaison to City Council. And while we don't have a liaison at this point to this group, we would still like to work with you and help you in any way that we can and help the citizens of Easton. So I don't know if Cody or Brett would like to add anything.
Thank you, everyone. There was one thing I heard tonight that kind of upset me, and I don't know if anybody noticed it. It was during the mural presentation, and I thought that was a good conversation by everyone involved. But that the applicants chose to just apply for the Bethlehem location somewhere outside of their historic district. And it was the way in which that conversation was framed, that they, had already talked to the mayor and gotten approval for all of these things for the mural in Easton, and this was the last stop. And in Bethlehem, they didn't even want to mess with trying to do anything in the historic region, and they thought, they just put it somewhere else. And I thought, I've spent the weekend touring some friends around Easton. They came into town for Heritage Day, and then we went to Bethlehem yesterday to visit the Moravian settlements and Nazareth. And so I really have been engaged in the local history over the last weekend. And it's just striking the way in which the historic assets of Bethlehem are front and center. And of course, there's so many distinctions. Bigger city, different resources. They've got many decades of investment in that. And I think it shows when an applicant thinks, well, we're not even going to try to get permission to do some mural in the historic district, but in Easton, yeah, we'll just get okay, and at the end, we'll get the stamp of approval from HDC, and that's no fault. I'm not faulting anybody here or faulting them. I think in the end, it's probably a generally good project. But it's just that the historic assets and resources of Easton have been an afterthought for a long time, and I just think that it kind of pervades almost everything, all of these little decisions, and it kind of slipped out in the way in which they presented that, and it's really frustrating to me. And so I echo what Paul says, that our goal is to help. I think we're all here, you're all involved because you care about Easton and you love Easton. I've been in and out of this room because I should be at home working right now, but I thought it was important to be at this meeting and I had to take a work call out there. So I'm here because I also love Easton and I care about it and I want to support the historic district. I think things like we talk about the limits of your authority, and we know that it's recommending body, there's nothing for the paint and the, certain design elements that you don't really have much say in, and that we really want to be a resource to support your work and I might even say embolden your decisions so that you know that there are honestly hundreds, if not even thousands, we haven't even talked to yet, who care deeply about this historic district, and you're representing those interests. And so we're really excited about the possibility and want to make sure that we foster a positive and collaborative relationship. So I really appreciate that.
Cody, I forget your last name.
Harding.
Harding.
Thank you.
It's late, so I don't want to extend this evening too far, but Brett Weber, I just wanted to offer clarity and maybe clarification on some of my earlier comments. I think that the issue for me, having experience working in historic districts in New York and Philadelphia, even as nearby as Bethlehem, is that there's a rigor to the process which I don't feel here. And I think that if we want to engender greater respect of the historic fabric that's here and the structures and encourage a level playing field for all applicants, you need to demand the documentation that's already written into the ordinance of what you're requiring. You need to require it, and it should be submitted. And it's the same thing that we are arguing for zoning. It makes it a transparent process for everybody. It makes it's a higher level of professionalism for developers or even individual business owners. I think they should have some level of respect for the process to say, yeah, I really do need to provide a dimensioned elevation. I need to provide a context photo, and for public approval of these things, when it comes to city council for things like murals, the public we all deserve better. We deserve better communication about what's actually proposed so there can be sound judgments made. But within the district, within the existing ordinance, dimensional representation should be demanded, and it provides for clarity and clarity of review. And it applies to all of these components. And I would say, with respect to submission of materials, I just think there are precedents locally, and we will encourage you to consider them, and we will share those precedents from other historic district commissions in terms of the process of review and submittal of materials, which I've seen in detail on bigger projects. But just get the basics in. Everybody should be able to see it, and if there's an important review that you do, quite frankly, it should come back to commission so that the public has a final comment on it. When it's done on a conditional approval and then it's reviewed by commission internally, the public never sees it again until it's done. So I just look into your existing guidelines and take heart that there are lots of us out here that want to abide. And when I present and I have to do submissions as well, I want to be held by the same standard so that we're having an intelligent and informed review process for everything, whether it's signage or facade materials or windows. So we're here to help, and we're here to sort of elevate the process so that there is a greater degree of professionalism when it comes to built environment, whether it's a building or a sign or a mural. So thank you for hearing me out tonight.
Thank you. I think that the creation of your organization is an excellent step forward for the city. And I personally think that there are many things that you will see before they come as applications before us. So you'll be able to react to proposals that are out there in the city before people even make an application to see us, which will be beneficial.
That's certainly our hope. Thank you.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions for any of us?
My only question is, we can't authorize their services, right? They'd have to go to council and ask council to be part of our process?
I think this is I'll say a donation. This is not to be charged, right? So if I would need a photo and they were to help me get it, would that be a problem?
I don't know.
I mean, I happen to know this gentleman quite well, so.
Oh, Paul
you
has
know,
a good reputation.
You know, it's just sort of.
I'm just saying, I'm asking like I don't know the legal end of it. Is there having a third, like another group, like when we get put on the board, they make us go up there and swear to uphold all these rules and stuff. I'm just asking, I mean, Cody, you're an attorney, I don't know, can a body that's sworn in get?
I think in an informal sense it would be okay. Certainly as an attorney, there's many things I do not know. But
Yeah, I'm just, that's the only thing I'm asking from a solicitor standpoint, like, are we allowed to?
Can we think of us as a friend of the court?
I don't know.
I think in the way that Paul is proposing, you know, I think if it were to take a more formal structure, you know, ongoing, whether it be like a
Totally agree, yeah.
board or there's maybe some kind of financial exchange or something, I think then it's,
I don't know.
language. Right. But I think what Paul initially offered is something much more informal.
Yeah, I think it's really a matter of streamlining the process. You have a public comment period for every project. So in theory, we could have
Yes.
somebody getting up here and commenting on every single
Right.
project, but
And
I
think
would
it
like
be
to
great
think that
if we don't have a photo of a building and you've taken one for us and we have some extra photos and stuff of the front and the back of buildings that the applicant isn't providing, it helps us, but this committee doesn't have the bandwidth to be running around taking photos because the applicant isn't.
So I'd like to comment a little on all of this, is that I don't get a lot of time to actually do what I do. And then usually when you have 12 of them, it's a lot of work.
Amen,
Um,
for you.
So Bethlehem has moved to have a whole month before the meeting for a submission. So they have more time. They also, we've struggled. We had much better application forms before this became an online platform. It has gone completely through the toilet as far as applications. And Mario is helping us. We've gotten a little bit better this past month. I'm not sure why, but we did. I mean, I know you've been trying to help with the online presence, but that's been a huge problem. Huge problem.
Right, and, you know, there are also, you're dealing whether you want to or not, or intend to or not, you're dealing with legal issues all the time. And again, we see ourselves as kind of a public servant to most of all the community, but also to this board. This board has a particular importance and nearness to our mission. And I'd like to just follow up on something that Phil brought up earlier, that ultimately this is a recommending body to City Council. And there are issues of color, or I was pleased and amazed that when you were dealing with 36 South 5th Street, and you said, well, they should do the roof next door. Well, they didn't apply to do the roof next door, but my office renovated that building in the 1980s. That building was the worst building I have ever renovated, and I have the photographs to document it. So I think our roof lasted 40 years, which is great, but it would have broken my heart if they had done the roof on one side and not on the other side, so.
But you know
thank
why? We probably, because they have a drop-down menu for the address, and the address didn't say 36-38, and they just put 36. And it's one
property,
application,
yeah.
and yeah.
But
so,
they could, you know, in any case, those are the kinds of things I hope that we can help with, identify, and we can have conversations with owners that, you know, you get them here, but you may not get them beforehand. I would like to be able to coordinate the work of our committee in a way that helps you in any way we can. So again, as Chris said, we've known each other for a very long time. we met almost as children.
I think it was, it'll be 50 years
Yeah,
in
yeah.
2 years.
Children, huh?
Well,
I doubt it.
well,
I have.
we met as professor and student,
Right.
actually.
Yeah.
All right, so
48 years ago.
may I interrupt you here?
Sure.
About this. The documentation is required. Why is it we and the city of Easton government can't require documentation? Why hasn't it happened to date?
Well, I think this is a platform issue, and then by the time we get it, look at it, Anna looks at it, and we go, oh, we need more information. There's just sort of not enough time, and we need to work it out.
What does that mean?
That if I may,
Gotta
Phil, that
fix
goes
it.
back to what Brett was saying about the degree of esteem, if you like, that historic districts are held in. In Bethlehem, they have rules, and I was the consultant to the Allentown Harb for a while, and it's less strong in Allentown than it is in Bethlehem.
It's a problem in
It's a problem in Allentown. But yeah, that's a matter perhaps of strengthening your own rules and regulations. And again, that's something that I think you will find our board is very supportive of. But again, those are issues, details, and we've been around for 2 months, and you've been around for years, and Easton's been around for centuries.
Well, I think
So-
your help with Crystal being on city council could be a big deal because she could maybe introduce things to tighten up what's written in our current ordinance that they adopted for this. I mean, those are the guidelines we got to go by. And as I said, it's not that I didn't disagree with anything you said or the other gentleman. It just, to what
beyond your-
point can, and maybe this comes from being in a code office. I can't enforce something based on and that's why I said to Phil, I'm not being disrespectful, Phil, but we can't say that in public, I don't like this, or I'm not voting for it because I don't like it, because it's not my opinion. Does it meet or does it not meet the guidelines? And here's why I disagree, because it doesn't meet this guideline. We can't just, because you open yourself up to somebody sitting here who has money and then sues you saying, well, this guy he doesn't like it. And that's, and even in the code end of it, that's when I was involved, you have to apply the rules as they're written. I can't change it, but when you have someone on council, that's where you can fine tune the comments or the words so that you tighten up all those areas where people are going, we don't go to Bethlehem because they thought they had a better shot here. Well, we can tighten up what we have here by changing the language.
Well, Crystal has already done that to an extent, not by changing the language, but by making sure that this body sees things before council does, before the zoning hearing board.
Which is
Which
amazing.
has been the law forever, it just hasn't been enforced, but now it will be.
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah.
So,
Wait, Mario has something to say here, folks.
Just two things. I'm going to address, one of the things that Paul brought up. But to answer your question, it's process and it's the OpenGov platform and the lack of requirement for certain things. Because and Jimmy knows this, there's many different types of applications. Not all of them are the same. And because you're standardizing on one platform, you might not require an image, right, which we need. So it's been a bit of laziness on that, and then an amendment on the application process that we've had conversations around to get to the point. A number of conversations have been held. The idea, and this has been discussions with Crystal Rose, is that once the Director of Planning and Codes, gets rolling, we're going to revisit the process, revisit the way the applications are structured, and that'll help. Right? We've had conversations already, but we need a better one. We'll put it that way. And Paul, one of the things that, I think you can, and the group can help with is, as a recommending body, right, as we see things, the only thing we could do is document them. So one of the things that I have discussed, and we discussed at the, city council meeting a couple weeks ago, was simply during this meeting, we have, under old business, we discuss and document, so it's in record, in the meeting minutes, and that's step one. Over time, we'll have ways to get that information, to codes, but for now, it would just be help documenting, because we can only do so much, right?
Well, again, with your permission or with Chris's approval, I'd like to maybe sit down with her, have other members of our committee sit down and just talk about ways that we can work together. That would be wonderful.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
All right.
Let me know.
I will.
You have my email. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, nothing else to come before this meeting. Could I have a motion to adjourn?
The motion?
Oh, I'll make that, or if anybody can make that, right? So
We've a motion.
we all did it. We all did it.
Meeting is
second.
adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you for your patience, and it only took us 3 hours.
Extend my parking from 3 hours to 3.5 hours. I get here too early.
I've started.
Lewis on getting approval for
We've,
Well, that, we've got to straighten that out because there's no maps. There's no map, Charbel, that clearly defines the district. And I might be wrong, but that's what I heard. I didn't know. I mean, we need a map. We need a map.
We do have a map. She's saying there should be a map online.
We have an app.
yeah, you just said it wasn't. No, we have one. I usually have it. I was having.
It's in my binder that I got when I joined.
I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it. Nothing on loan or, I mean, I might be wrong on the Union Street, but every verbal description of boundary said Sixth Street.
Well,
Both sides.
Union is west of.
And this is west of that. But it touches the back of the Sixth Street properties, but it does not go to Sixth. The Northampton County, all that stuff, yeah.
Here, Christine.
Some of the stuff is just not working.
Yeah, but that's so unclear. You go in here and you try to figure out what's in here, those houses I think are there. I think this is the county. And I think those houses are out, but it's so fuzzy. There's no clear blocks, really delineated. Yeah. It is, and even that shows those are not in. But I wasn't sure.
No, it's fine. I'm just saying before,
That's where it is.
Yeah, it just depends on the tone.
It could be
Because I
clear.
No, I mean, we have the building director, so hopefully they can.
I'll wait for you.
I mean, I guess that's what he's saying, though. I have to go.
It would be extremely easy, and you know what, this should be so if that's not, I mean, and then I could use the window on the back.
Instead of like the modern like having a
No, I have an old binder from 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can find it in the binder.
And I understand that it's just, I don't like it, but.
And that brings up a good point. Why I brought up that one statement, and I probably.
Well, I know you, Ron, and we were talking.
I would love to see a little less subjective. Language in our code that just says, our job is to make things in line with historic. And there's some pretty, I talked to Chris about this, pretty broad legal terms that we have in there. That's not just,
You haven't taken any online training yet, right? A sequel. None of these stands help, and you get to ask questions. I ask questions. And I tried to do that, but like there's so many. I didn't know about his ones, but I've massed. I tried all of it. Those are things that we have. One thing I've become more and more to just. You ever see that?
You can't use the word like.
They used to have a guy get a sleeve, you said, plan used to say,
I don't like it.
I don't like it. It's not that, why is it on there?
Especially when it comes down to art, because art is very subjective. And yes, some murals I like, some I don't.
Yes, in my, yes.
Like Teresa Hogan's building, didn't they do the whole side?
So how does the appeal? So I feel when you
Huge. I don't, I mean, I gotta paint it here, but that's a big panel. That's a lot taller than what this is gonna be. That's what I'm saying. And then at the Free Bridge, they did it, the railroad bridge on the south side, that whole side was done.
Several times.
Yeah.
Right.
I was glad he asked who's gonna maintain it, because that is important. Because it all looks good when they first put it on. Go look at it 2, 3 years later, what it looks like. But it sounds like they wanted, it sounds like they wanted it.
Well, that's what they say.
I know
But what
what-
happens? Nobody that's there is involved anymore.
Yeah, you're right, it disbands. They disband.
By the way, and I know you're with me, my comment is about where language is legally written. And then.
Yeah, I mean, I just, murals, I just, because I, you know.
I'm gonna miss it.
Mario, I think of,
Good, you joined me one of them.
Teresa lives in
Sometime I need to get together and review the whole meeting and history and get it all written down. I've got your file, I've got to make copies
they've
of
done,
that.
whoever, however they did them, RDA, someone did them, and then someone had appealed. And so, you know, they got the money the first time, who's gonna do the second?
Good trip away.
You end up like the building where,
We
three men.
remember they had that picture of, and it was nice when they first put it up, and then
You and
it
your sons
faded,
are
and
doing that.
everybody's like, well, someone do something about that
A
picture.
retreat.
Let's make sure she shut this off.
Thank you. Sounds like fun.
And I'll see you sometime.